Good evening and welcome to Saxon Stadium here on the campus of Mercyhurst University, as today we have a friendly exhibition matchup between the Pittsburgh Riverhounds USL2 team and the Erie Commodores as we embark on the 2026 season. I'm John Laddick alongside Jack Quinn, and boy, Jack, am I excited to get this one underway. It's going to be a great season of Commodore soccer. Hard to believe how quickly the offseason goes. We're back here at it, and big expectations as we get underway for 2026.
Yeah, very big expectations. The Commodores last year ended the string. They had gone 6 consecutive seasons without missing the postseason. It was a 2-0 win over Cleveland right here at Mercyhurst, the last game of the regular season that clinched that playoff spot. Now, talking to some of the returning players, guys like Charlie Peterson, Dylan Danch, local products, they said, you think that home field doesn't matter in soccer so much. They said, hold on to that, because they had to go to Rochester and they lost a heartbreaker in overtime to Flower City, the division champs, in the playoffs. So their goal, okay, they made the playoffs last year. Now with a lot of new faces as well, can we take that next step and make sure that come July, those playoff games are right here in Erie?
And we want to welcome all of you in watching on Erie News Now Plus, and also watching across all the platforms here for the Erie Commodores and to our title sponsor, Lecom Health Systems, as they are a big part of bringing this broadcast to you. But Jack, as you mentioned off the top here, a lot of new faces. That includes the head coach here, getting started here, Catalin Salavu Nastuda, he's welcomed in here a guy that has quite the background in terms of the soccer pitch.
Yeah, there's no question about it. And with him, he brings a lot of new faces to this team, starting with Tim Tescher in goal. He is from Germany, and he was at a place called, I've got to look it up, Coastal Bend College from Texas. I've never heard of them. But how about this? 103 saves in 3 games with them. Only 3 did he allow more than 1 goal. So they're going to be solid in the back. A lot of new faces in this starting lineup. And the thing that fans need to remember, as you said in the outset, this is a friendly. The lineups are not yet set. There's going to be some mixing and matching. So not necessarily the lineup you see tonight and maybe the players you see tonight. So more guys will be added to the roster as well as some of these colleges come to an end this season. So the guys we see tonight may not be the guys that we see even on Saturday in the first regular season game.
Yeah, Jack, the nice thing about tonight, you can try and play with a couple of matchups. We talked to the head coach earlier in this week as part of media today, and I asked him, I said, kind of what should Commodores fans expect from the style that you want to play? He said it's all about the possession game. Obviously, if you have the soccer ball with you, you can do the things that you want to do, dictate terms. So he said possession is going to be a big part of this, but the next game or so is all going to be about trying to create that chemistry that this group, with a lot of guys that have seen both play at the college level and some that have seen it as well on the international stage.
Well, and again, yeah, these are guys that are coming from literally all corners of the globe. Some, as I mentioned, are from Erie, and you see it in every sport. Sometimes a guy zigs when you want him to zag. So getting that familiarity in a game setting, not just in practice, is going to be critical tonight, because as we saw last year, every game matters, and it's so wild how we get to July when the season comes to an end, and these teams are all bunched up in terms of playoff positioning. So it gets real starting Saturday night. Today, we'll be feeling each other out a little bit more, as will Riverhounds 2 making their team debut.
Yeah, they're making their team debut. And again, for those of you maybe just joining us, in terms of the USL, you have the Pittsburgh Riverhounds coming off at the USL1 level, their first championship. As part of that, think of it as kind of the AAA here with the USL2 club, kind of that feeder system towards the big club in different parts of the USL, just one step below the MLS as a part of this. It's going to be an exciting one to see what this Pittsburgh Riverhounds team brings here this afternoon.
Well, they've got a lot of big-time guys in terms of D1. They've got a couple of guys that played at Pitt. In fact, several. Pitt was ranked as high as number 7 at one point during the soccer season. They've got a player that's going to Indiana. They've got a player who actually, believe it or not, is transferring from Louisville to Kentucky. He's going to have a little bit of a hard time with those Louisville fans when he meets them at his reunions. Just ask Rick Pitino about that. But this is a very talented team, and it's going to be an outstanding test for Erie here as a friendly match getting ready for the season.
Should be an exciting one. We've got plenty more to get around and get you to later up, but we're going to take our first time out here this evening, and we'll take you to the podcast forum. A lot of news and notes to cover with the owner, John Melody, as we take you to the podcast coming up out of the break here in just a moment. You're watching Erie Commodores Soccer.
Visit Erie, Good Life, Great Lake.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this. because they live it. For more than 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance.
LECOM is among the nation's largest and most applied to medical schools. We expand the boundaries of medical knowledge, challenging our students and preparing them to realize their potential. With 4 campuses nationwide and over 17,000 alumni, you can become part of the next generation of LECOM graduates. At LECOM, we make doctors.
Visit Erie. Good life, great lake.
Hi everybody, John Melody here, back for Season 2 of Off the Pitch podcast with Erie Commodores. I am very happy and excited to introduce to you Coach Catalin Nastuta. Tell us, Catalin, you were born in Romania, you moved to Spain. Give the viewers a little bit of your history.
Well, thanks for the introduction, John. I'm very excited to be part of the club, new head coach this year. My name is Catalin Nastuta. As you said, I'm originally from Romania, born and raised in Spain, and moved here to America 5 years ago. I had a scholarship to play in New Mexico and Oklahoma, and in the past years I had previous coaching experience for Erie Commodores and this new year for Point Park as well, and now here at Erie Commodores.
Tell me what Erie can expect from the 2026 season.
I think this is going to be a different season. First of all, with the World Cup happening very soon, it's going to mean a lot for soccer, especially in Erie. And first of all, for the Commodores, I think it's going to be different. We're having a lot of talent coming in from different Division 1 schools, Division 2s, NAS, and all over the country. I think we're going to give some good soccer to Erie.
Elaborate on some of the players you're bringing in and what you're excited about.
I think, as you said, the foundation was set last year. Making the playoffs after a long time was good, but now we have to build on that. Now the goal for this year is to win the conference.
Tell us a little bit about what you know about Commodores and our rivalries and the conference in general, and how does that match up with some of the other experiences that you've had?
First of all, this history of Erie is huge. I heard about this project a long time ago. In the last couple of years, more close to me, having the experience with the previous coaching staff as well. And I think, first of all, Cleveland is going to be one for the books. I think we're going to win it, to be fair. I have to say that.
You have to say that.
I have to say
for sure, yes.
This time of the year, but I think when the time is going to come, the results, they're going to speak by themselves. But I think there's 2 particular moments that I'm looking forward, and it's the home opener. First home opener against Niagara at home. I think it's going to be very good. Bring a lot of fans to the stadium and show them, what we're about, what we want to build here at this club, and a good way of playing soccer that the fans are going to enjoy.
Yeah, and I think that's just it. Our conference is, I'm not sure we're the best conference in the country, but I can absolutely say that we're one of the most. There's so much parity in our conference. You just mentioned Niagara, Ambassadors, Rochester, Flower City. There's an awful lot of parity in it, a lot of good games. So every game in a 12-game season, 6 home, 6 away, there's lots of battles, and I don't think there's any game where you can look at the schedule and kind of go, we should get 3 points from that. So you kind of have to hit the ground running. Tell us how you blend the international and the local flavor, to put a team together that people really want to see.
You definitely need a mix. You cannot bring people just from outside because they don't know how Erie is, how the club, and the values that we stand for. So after the tryouts, saw a lot of talent. I'm excited for what I saw, and this definitely makes my job easier because you can be in any other part of the country as a club, and if you don't have local talent, will make your life very hard. So definitely having the tryouts, seeing the local talent in Erie helped me a lot.
And it's true, and it's nice because some of the local guys, they like to come home over every summer, or they like to stay here, and represent. As well as I know from Ireland, from Spain, representing your local hometown is a huge honour. And sometimes translating that into America is difficult. Sometimes people feel like if I go further away and play, it's better. But getting these guys home and playing for Erie and representing Erie Commodores, for me, is a huge honour for them, and it's one of the reasons I continue to do this. So I feel like you feel something similar.
Definitely. I think that's something hard to achieve, bringing that talent and that willingness for people, to go watch game, support the local club, it's harder to do in college. But since we are a summer organization, it makes definitely easier to people to come watch and more enthusiastic as well.
Yeah, and it is. And this year we have a few more midweek games. We have a few Wednesday games and a Thursday game. Typically games are on Fridays or Saturdays or Sunday afternoons. I don't think we have any Sunday game, but midweek games. So it'll be interesting to see. Erie, PA in the summer, there's a lot going on because we've just dealt with a lot of bad weather for the last number of months. So people are gunning to get out. So if we put a product on the field that is exciting, I think then people will definitely come and watch. So looking forward to that part of it as well. And we'll take it from there, right?
Definitely. I think when you combine both, good soccer, good organization, the fans, they will come by itself. And especially with the year, with what we have projected right now, definitely a lot of people will come out and support.
For all information, folks, and to stay up to date, you can visit our website, eriecommodores.com.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
If you know what you want, LECOM will help you achieve it. We are among the nation's largest and most applied to medical schools, offering programs in medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, and podiatry, with student-centered learning and a nearly 100% residency placement. With 4 campuses nationwide, you can count on LECOM for your future. Become the medical practitioner you know you can be. At LECOM, we make doctors.
We welcome you back into the broadcast booth. John Lonick alongside Jack Quinn here as we count you down to the opening start here of the Brewers Cup here at Saxon Stadium at Mercyhurst University, a matchup between the Erie Commodores and the Riverhounds, USL2 team. And Jack, should be a good one here today, as you mentioned off the top of our broadcast. This is a friendly. It's not going to count towards the standings in the Great Lakes Conference, but what are some things that you want to see out of this Commodores club here this afternoon?
Well, other than putting the ball in the net, I'd like to see some of these new guys, and we're going to see them. Alvaro Planas is one of the newcomers for this ball club who was at St. Francis last year and was all NEC soccer. He's one of the best players in the conference, one of the best players for St. Francis, sadly, in their final season as a Division I program. But he is one of these new guys that I'm really excited to see. Bruno Fornes, who came from Linwood, he's out of Brazil. And I mentioned these guys literally come from all over the world. We have Brazil, we have France, we have Colombia, we have England, and we have Erie, Pennsylvania. But he was an outstanding player at Linwood last season. He was second on the team in terms of points scored, 2 goals, 3 assists. So just familiarizing ourselves with these guys and seeing who can do what, and then seeing how they play together because, as we said, communication is key. And it's interesting. I was talking with some of the players who were back. They said, look, it's not the easiest thing in the world. We don't understand French necessarily. We don't speak French. So the communication and seeing how that works out in this first game is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
We don't speak French either, by the way. Unless I don't. Maybe you do. I don't.
No, so maybe we'll have to go over to that Steelers game coming up here.
Oh, that's right.
Next
there you
season,
go.
October 25th, over there in Paris. Stade de France, I believe this is pronounced. But
get some crepes,
Back to a different type of football here today. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the possession works out here today, and if the head coach here, Coach Nastuda, decides to go maybe maybe half by half with the goalkeepers just to see what he has in each and see who he wants to line up here coming up on Saturday evening.
Yeah, one of the key returners, too, I mentioned him at the outset, was Charlie Peterson. He was outstanding last year. His brother was on, not sure if his brother's going to join them this year on the team or not. Local products from Erie, and a great goal scorer and a guy that can really flip the field in soccer. You hear about that in basketball and football. He can do it in soccer. One of the issues with this team last year, and again, it's hard to compare because there are so many newcomers, was they would have games where they would really be in control throughout. They would own the field position. They would have shots on goal, but they weren't able to put the ball in the back of the net until those last couple of games, and that really hurt them in that playoff game up in Rochester. So I'm sure that is something. Obviously, they've emphasized goal scoring, but taking advantage of opportunities when you get them and when you're in control, putting the other team away.
Yeah, it'll be interesting thinking back to last year's club, and again, a much different group than we're going to see, and we'll rattle off the names throughout the broadcast here today. We also want to thank LECOM, the title sponsor of our coverage throughout the year. Again, you can watch these games all year long here at home and on ENN Plus as well. But it'll be interesting to see just how all these groups fit together and that style, how it plays out under Coach Nastuda and his first year. Again, an assistant in 2025 at Point Park, but he is a guy that's certainly defensive-minded. And I thought the interesting thing, taking a look at this coaching staff that Coach mentioned when talking to him earlier this week at media, he said, it was great to see John Melody, the owner here of the Erie Commodores, let him bring on his own staff. A lot of defensive-minded and guys that work well with goalkeepers on this staff.
Yeah, and you mentioned John Melody. There's no one that knows soccer in this community better than John Melody. He's one of the most respected people in this league, and I'm not just saying that because he runs the show here, of course. But, when he coached this team, they had their greatest successes back when, this was I mentioned the last time they made the playoffs was 6 years ago. He was the head coach at that time, and so he knows what they need. He knows what to put in, and he knows where to find these guys, which is key. I've always asked him, how do you find these players from Colombia, from Brazil, from England, etc.? He said, you just work hard, and that's basically it, and we'll see how they all fit together.
The nice thing, if you want to tune in throughout the year, as Jack has mentioned a number of times, you have some local connections as well. As you mentioned, Peterson and the Peterson family has been well known across both the McDowell circuit and, of course, down at Gannon University. But you also have another guy that knows a thing or two about the flair for dramatics, and that's Dylan Danch. Everybody from the Cathedral Prep community knows about what he was able to do a couple of years ago. He's the last couple of years played at Uville up there in Buffalo, New York. But he had both an overtime winner in the semifinals of a state playoff run for the Ramblers, and then a double overtime winner to clinch a state championship.
Yeah, the winner for the state championship. That was certainly a night to remember for him and all the Ramblers. And, he started with this club 2 years ago and had to sort of come on because he was still in high school at the time. And now, as you mentioned, he's spent 2 years at Uville. He's really gained experience, gained strength, and he's going to be a key cog on this team as well. Some of the local guys got more playing time. Again, this is not the final roster. We'll see some more players added to this roster because some schools like Mercyhurst is just finishing up their finals today. So some of these schools, some of these guys won't be joining them for a little bit. But, yeah, Dylan Danch with one of the great moments really in the history of Cathedral Prep athletics, and that's no small feat.
So you got Ramblers, you got Trojans. Also, Jack, while we have a moment, let's go over, you were gathering here. Let's go over some of the starting lineups. An interesting one to start off at the striker position. How about Cyrus Connolly? He comes as a member of the Cayman Islands national team, as you talked about it, guys from all over the world.
It's not just Banks in the Cayman Islands. It's soccer as well, and he's a phenomenal player. And one of these guys that's going to be up front, like you said, attempting to score goals for this ball club throughout the season. And, again, we've not seen them. It's not easy to get film on some of these guys and some of these colleges. A lot of these guys have transferred multiple times. So I don't think the adjustment of moving to Erie is going to be hard. A lot of these players, and looking them up, have transferred already colleges. A lot of them, one from the French Riviera, ended up in New Mexico, then ended up at Western Michigan, and now here in Erie. So even though they're young, you're talking about 20 to maybe 25 years old, and most of them probably 21, 22, being in a new area is not going to be, I don't think, an issue for them, given how well-traveled these guys already have been.
I think one of the interesting parts of Media Day was hearing these guys some of their favorite things and learning about some of the things that are offered here in Erie and the things that they're looking forward to this summer. Also up in that forward position, Alvaro Planas, a guy that comes in here, as you mentioned, from St. Francis. As we work to the midfield, Alvar Silva, one of the returning starters you mentioned. Again, from Barcelona, Spain, previously at Oklahoma Christian, and also 2 seasons at Mercyhurst here.
Yeah, Oklahoma Christian, and he led that ball club in terms of assists with 6 goals, 2 assists, and did a phenomenal job there. And now he is here at Mercyhurst, at Division I Mercyhurst. So again, a lot of moving parts. Of course, transfers far more common now than they used to be in the college circuit.
As we continue along in today's starting lineup, Alex Sanchez, another Spaniard, will be a part of this team. From the Upper Iowa Community College, also playing at D2. He has plenty of accolades as he welcomes into this club. And then Santiago Bustamante, a name well familiar here at Mercyhurst.
Yeah, no question about that. First of all, Sanchez coming from Harcum College, which is outside of Philadelphia. I wasn't familiar with that. It's outside of Bryn Mawr. But with the Peacocks in Division II, CAA all-second team, and that's the Division II thing. He did a phenomenal job. So a lot of guys, this is another thing, is a lot of these guys come in here having been used to, whether they were at a junior college, Division I, Division II, used to being the key cog offensively, and now they're going to have to work together. Some of the guys who are used to goal scoring are going to have to be a little bit more selfless. I don't think it'll be a problem, but it'll be fun to watch.
As we move to the back end, Martin Baudelet from Paris, France, comes over. As the last couple of years, he has spent time in the Hong Kong Premier League, also spent 4 years in Canada at university as well. As we continue along here, it's Mathieu Bovan, and then Bruno Fornes, also in the starting lineup. And then we move back Aymar Armendia as we get set here for this one today. A number of guys getting their debuts here for the Erie Commodores.
Well, you mentioned Bovan, the freshman. This is really phenomenal. His first ever goal in college came in the championship game against Evansville. They're in the Missouri Valley. There's no MAC soccer, giving Western Michigan the 1-0 lead and a conference title. It was a bicycle kick, first ever goal. Good time for his first ever goal.
Good time to have that one. We're going to have a good time with you here this evening as we approach the start of this one between the Pittsburgh Riverhounds USL2 and the Erie Commodores. We'll be back with the start of this one in just a moment.
Visit Erie, Good Life, Great Lake.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For more than 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance.
Like in medicine, great achievements in sports require hard work, long hours, and determination. The outcome in both is worth the effort. LECOM is among the largest and most applied to medical schools, with 4 campuses nationwide, offering student-centered learning and a nearly 100% residency placement. The Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. We make dreams reality. We make doctors.
Visit Erie. Good life, great lake.
Visit Erie, Good Life, Great Lake.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
we welcome you to live coverage of Erie Commodores soccer as the players make their way on, as we'll meet the starting lineups here at Saxon Stadium on the campus of Mercyhurst University, the home of Erie Commodores soccer all year long. We are excited. I'm John Leidick. As the players continue to come onto the field. We're getting ready for starting lineups here, and then we will turn things over to the public address announcer and the national anthem here in just a moment. We'll let them get into their lines. But pleasure to be joined alongside Jack Quinn this year. I'm John Leidick, and we're excited to bring you Commodores soccer. It looks like everyone is almost in place, so we'll turn it over to Jack Quinn with today's public address announcements and then the national anthem. We're back with the start of this matchup in just a moment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Saxon Stadium on the campus of Mercyhurst University, where tonight the Erie Commodores kick off their 2026 campaign in the annual Brewers Cup. It's a preseason showdown as the Commodores take on USL2 side Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC. It's a great early season test for Erie and a first look at this year's squad as they gear up for the NPSL season, and we're glad you're with us. Fans, at this time, we ask that you please rise, remove your caps, and remain standing as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Tonight's match is proudly presented by LECOM, a leader in medical education, training the next generation of healthcare professionals right here in our region. LECOM, committed to excellence in education and community care. Yep. Thank you.
All right, as the teams make their way towards the bench before we get underway here, again, John Leidick alongside Jack Quinn, as this one a friendly between Pittsburgh and Erie, two cities that know each other quite well, between some sports figures and many in between. Again, we just want to make note the Pittsburgh Riverhounds USL2 team, as they come into this one, they will be wearing just their friendly matchup, so we'll do our best to identify here in terms of players, but excited to be alongside. Jack, should be a great season for Commodore soccer.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we all have laundry issues from time to time. Their kits just weren't ready, so they're going to be in the gray. Commodores, this will be the home uniform we will see, although sometimes they'll break out an alternate, which we may see later on down the line. And as we were talking off the air, in goal, Peter Morano will be getting the start in goal for the Riverhounds. We do know that hails from Chapel Hill, North Carolina, one of the most beautiful cities on the planet, by the way, and at High Point University, so one of the goalkeepers there at High Point.
As we have a moment and get ready for the opening kick of this one, do want to thank our sponsors that are able to bring this to you all season long, and great sponsors with the Erie Commodores. Of course, our title sponsor here with LECOM, a leader in medical education, as you heard from Jack, training in the next generation of healthcare professionals right here in our region, as well as John Russell Brewing Company, Smith's Provisions, Curtsy Foods, R. Frank Media, Visit Erie, Marquette Savings Bank, Michelob Ultra, and Erie Insurance, all a big part of Commodore soccer all year long. As we get set here again, the site, Saxon Stadium, on the campus of Mercyhurst University here. Don't go anywhere, too. Just want to remind you, at halftime, right as we head to half, we'll hear from Coach on the opening half of play, and then we'll have some coverage as well and get you set for the second half. So plenty of great coverage here as we get set to get underway between the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2 and the Erie Commodores.
To set the scene up here at Mercyhurst, it's always busy here. It could be the 4th of July and it's busy up here. But you've got students, it's toward the end of finals week, you've got students moving out. There's a high school baseball game behind us between aforementioned Cathedral Prep and Erie High. It looks like there's some people practicing on the beautiful, fairly new fields up above us. There is always activity here at Mercyhurst University.
High school playoffs locally coming up here, a selection show Friday morning, and then they will get into the postseason for both baseball and softball. So it is that time of year, and hopefully it appears in talking with our forecasters over at Erie News Now, a warm-up is on its way. So as we get set here, it looks like we're going to get underway about 5:06.
Not a warm-up today, though. It is cold, and the wind blowing left to right on your screen will be a factor.
Yeah, as we start things off here, 48 degrees with a slight wind here as we get underway. The Riverhounds with the opening possession here, Jack.
And that wind usually will die down as the match goes on, but right now Erie will have it at their back, and a nice cross there to get things underway.
Yeah, the Riverhounds move it into the attacking third here as Erie sets up its first defensive structure of this friendly matchup, and up there pressuring is Alvar Silva, one of the returning starters for this Commodores team. As that ball goes out, and that'll be a throw-in for the Commodores.
So, again, it'll be really interesting to see how they sort of feel each other out here again. Obviously, they've been practicing, but totally different in a game situation, and the spacing, perhaps the biggest issue.
Yeah, usually finding feet and spacing, the things that coaches you'll hear no matter at what level they want to see early on in the season. As you see at the top of the screen there, 9, Cyrus Connolly, again, one of the newcomers to this team coming. He's a member of the Cayman Islands national team, as we told you in the pregame show here. He's had a couple of stops between Longwood and many others. Also Concord, he had 12 goals at previous stops. As Pittsburgh tries to move it into the attacking third, they'll retreat here now and kind of set things up.
I believe Longwood is now Division I, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Looks like we're going to get an early offside.
Offside's called there, so the Riverhounds will set things up there on the back end where it is Michu Bovan. The Frenchman will get set to boot this one away for the Commodores here. Just about a minute and a half gone by in the early action.
And you mentioned the Cayman Islands. He comes from Cannes, the French Riviera. Not a bad place. Not used to this weather in the French Riviera.
No. He was asking about some of the go-tos here in Erie the other day during media day. I said, well, if you're here early on, I don't know what your diet includes for the summertime, but I said, Smith's Hot Dog, never a bad selection.
There you
as
go.
Head down to Sarah's and the beautiful peninsula once that weather does warm up. As the Riverhounds will set things up here as they near the midway mark of the field, and they'll go into the attacking third to see the first challenge here. As the boot on net there, and that one just goes wide. The diving attempt there, it's Aymar Armandia getting the start here in net as keeper for the Commodores.
It was a nice shot into the wind from the far side. I mentioned this team is loaded, talking about Pittsburgh with Division I. I mean, you're talking about ACC, you're talking about Big Ten with Indiana. I mean, guys that have played at the highest levels of college soccer, as is the case with the Commodores.
And they play well deep into the postseason in their respective conferences and on the national stage. A number of highly ranked teams these Riverhounds are coming from. We'll see. Haven't yet seen the Commodores set up in the offensive attacking third, but going up high here as Connolly pressures early on. They'll try the near side. Good touch there as Connolly with the ball. He's going to survey the scene, tries to go to the outside and find one of the midfielders, but they'll retreat, reset as the Commodores go along here.
And this is where that spacing comes into play. They didn't really have anyone on the near side to flip the field to, so they go back. But a nice play on the initial takeaway.
At that time, it was Bustamante on the far side trying to get this upfield, but pressure there, and that'll be Riverhounds with the ball on the throw-in. So we'll set things up on the back end here. Center back Amari Everidge, Nicholas Sorensen, Blaze Hardy, and Larson Rogers among the back end for the Riverhounds as they move forward here. And again, a cluster early on as they try to figure out where they can attack the weaknesses of these two clubs there, Jack.
Rogers played in the MASL last year with the St. Louis Ambush.
A quick touch here for the Commodores as they retreat. Armandia with this one. He'll boot it away. As the Commodores early on here, 4 minutes into play, having a tough time getting out of its own defensive third. Another setup here for the Riverhounds, who will reverse field to the near side. Trying to find that open space early on in the Commodores' defense. Patience early on again for some of these guys. And according to Pittsburgh, they just got together a couple of days ago as this one sent in there. And that's where Armandia will corral things and let his mates get set up and try and move up into the attacking third for a little bit.
Yeah, and if you missed the intro, I mean, we should point out, this is their first game ever. This is like Browns-Cowboys at the Hall of Fame game in '99. So it's going to take, we were talking about the spacing and camaraderie, if you will, for Erie. I mean, it's going to be really hard for this team because they've never played together before in a game setting.
Foul in the kick will go away for the Riverhounds. If you had the over-under here of 5 minutes for Jack to head drop a Cleveland reference, the under has hit for those of you at home.
Well, one of the forwards, Legendre, started at Notre Dame for the Riverhounds, so we'll see what he can do. He's now at UNLV. I cannot think of two more polar opposite places than the University of Notre Dame and Las Vegas.
Yeah, just a bit of a difference there.
Both fun, though.
Yes, certainly depending on what your interests are, as another infraction called there on the Commodores, so that will send up the free kick here for the Riverhounds. We'll get things underway. 5:30 gone by in the early action here from Saxon Stadium on the campus of Mercyhurst University.
Yeah, the other thing, John, is this is one of the coldest days we've had in a while here, so these two teams, I'm sure, are not used to playing in this type of weather. Not that they're not used to it, not that it's new, but a lot of these guys are from warmer areas, so we'll see how they respond if they go to deeper benches perhaps earlier in this game. Nice cross.
Crosser into the box, but a good defensive stop there that time by the Commodores to thwart the opportunity. I believe back there was Martin Baudelaire, excuse me.
And a good crowd here, late arriving, but they're filling up here at Mercyhurst University.
Yeah, some excitement to get underway here. It's been a while since we've seen soccer in Erie. The playoffs usually ended around the high school ranks in November. Mercyhurst playing into the Division I season late into October, early November, as they establish themselves at the Division I level.
And Penn State Barron always deep into the season, almost always winning the AMCC. I saw their SID extraordinaire Jill Yama here, and both their baseball and softball programs are in the NCAA tournament beginning this weekend.
Boy, they are a quiet success story.
Oh, they're phenomenal.
There's a number of great universities in town, but boy, the Penn State Barron Lions, they are always playing into the postseason, including, Jack, it was announced on Monday that their baseball and softball teams are off to the Division III tournament.
Yes, and I got to give a shout-out. My cousin's son, Colin Bola, their ace, had a no-hitter earlier this year for the Barron Lions, the lefty.
As the Riverhounds attack here.
Oh, nice move.
That was a great move there that time by the Riverhounds as they set up in the attacking third.
I think Fornes thought he had more help down there in the corner, and they got away with him. He did a nice job to recover there and not allow for a cross.
I think the early thing, too, if you're sitting here and you're on the Commodores coaching staff, and Astuda wants to see how his guys can set up defensively. The offense sometimes, especially with chemistry, is going to take a little while to come together, but if you can get the defensive game underway early on, that's going to set the stage for a good season. It's almost a break there for the Riverhounds.
Yeah, that's one where at the back end you got to make sure you get him offside. Is that you're right? If that had squirted through, he would have been on.
And we'll reverse things back here, work towards the middle of the field. Now go to the far side as the Riverhounds try again. Just about 8 minutes gone by here in this opening half of play, and it has been mostly the Riverhounds in its inaugural game controlling possession. As Armandia comes out to play that one. And again, he'll allow his guys to kind of set things up, take a breath, and reorganize. As we get that one up, this one moved to the middle there. It's Adrian Ebersbach now in. As here come the Commodores pushing things up here as Bruno Fornes. Now this one going to be into the box there. First great offensive opportunity as Cyrus Connolly trying to get position there, but he's called for the infraction, and that'll give the Riverhounds back the ball on the free kick.
Bit of a nickel-dimer there, no argument. I mean, it was a foul, but the first time we've seen Erie really push the ball that far down the field.
Yeah, that time on the pressure, another Frenchman, David Citron, kind of trying to set things up and find Connolly in the middle there, just couldn't get position on the defender. Has a little shove there, and this one reversed into the backside. Bruno Fornes from Brazil Leading the back end there is the attack. Here come the Commodores. It's Alvar Silva, one of the returners here for the Commodores. He'll cross it here. This time that's going to go to Fornes. Fornes with a shot on goal, but the save there as Peter Morano, the keeper for the Riverhounds, his first test this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a nice move with the left foot, but, boy, right at the keeper. That's when one you get by the guy. Maybe shot it a little bit in haste. Maybe wait and see if somebody can make a good run, but it was a good strike and a fine stop.
As you mentioned, Fornes coming out from Sao Paulo, Brazil, Lindenwood, Mars Hill, and Cali College as the stops among his college career so far.
Can you imagine the frequent flyer miles these guys must have already accrued at such a young age?
Well, think about it. You got Lindenwood up here in the Northeast. Mars Hills is down in Asheville, and then Cali College as well. Boy, it's almost like a sightseeing tour for some of these student athletes. As here come the Riverhounds pressuring on the far side. We'll see if they can get a crosser off here, but a great job that time is coming up to make the stop was Michu Bevon. As he got a foot on that, that'll set up the first corner of this contest.
Yeah, boy, you saw the speed there on the far side and good recovery to not allow that cross through. But, man, these strikers, these forwards for the Riverhounds can fly.
Yeah, they're getting up there, and just all it takes is one little step, and the advantage here is we set up for the first one, see how the Commodores set things up on the corner kick. As this one thrown in, and a shot on goal, and that one hits the crossbar, still out. Ball in the box as this one bounces around before that time. I think that one sent into the corner. I believe down in there was Citron to just kind of get that one out of harm's way, but what an opportunity for the Riverhounds.
Tesher got away with a push there, I thought. It wasn't much contact, but a little bit of a push there.
So about 11 minutes gone by. We'll reverse to the other side. A corner here for the Riverhounds. Has hand up, send this one into the box here, but a great header to get that one out of harm's way. But the Riverhounds still with pressure in the attacking third. They'll reverse things and reset as the Commodores regroup defensively. Again, if you're just joining us, everything presented here is our title sponsor, LeCom, bringing you the live broadcasts all year long, both on our stream on the social media platforms as well as Erie News Now Plus, bringing these games to you on the home slate here at Saxon Stadium. As the push there that time, and the whistle blows. That time almost as we have
the Commodores would like to thank
injured
LeCom,
player,
title sponsor, for making tonight's match possible.
Quickly up there.
Healthcare education and strengthening communities across our region.
So the quick injury stoppage there and back up there. That'll set up the free kick here. And another quality chance here for the Riverhounds, who have really brought the pressure to the Commodores' defense early in this one. 12 minutes gone by.
At first, real legitimate opportunity here. We'll see what they do. If he just tries to bend it around that wall or they try to get others. Sometimes you see him chip it up here, although that would be tough into the wind.
Yeah, especially with the wind right in your face. As the organized just fired on net, but that time coming up with the save here for the Erie Commodores. As they'll move things up. Commodores going to throw this one. Connolly almost had the step behind, and still pressure coming on the backside there. As brought down that time was Alvaro Planas.
Yeah, he's still down. I thought that was a good call, though. I didn't see any real skin-to-skin there. I thought he got the ball. He's slow to get up, though. Obviously, he got something. I don't know if maybe he landed on the ball or if it was a missed call.
As he's still trying to regather himself. Planas, the 5'7", from Valladolid, Spain. Again, member of St. Francis as their final year at the Division I level. Part of the NEC action.
Such a shame. I mean, they're so well known for that reason, and that they weren't able to keep it up financially. That's a beautiful, not easy to get to, but a beautiful campus in Loretto. They're not closing, I should point out. They're just going to Division III. I just wanted to point out they're not closing.
They'll be joining another regional school in the President's Athletic Conference in the PAC in Allegheny.
Yeah, there you go with the Gators.
Just about 45 minutes south here.
Nice
Saxon
move.
Stadium, and a great touch pass there to try and spring free, but good recovery from the defense there that time. Is coming up to make the play, Jacob Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson did a nice job. I mean, there's not a lot you can do when the guy's faster, and he appears to be faster than everybody on the field, but that was really well done by Anderson to thwart any opportunity.
Anderson from the UK Texas A&M Victoria, his latest stop in his soccer career at the college ranks. So the Riverhounds reset, and they come again. They've pressured throughout these opening 14 minutes of action. And a good touch, give and go there. They try to get it into the box, but a good job by the Commodores defense. Now the reverse it wide, try for the crosser, stop up.
We're going to get a penalty kick here, I think.
Yeah, that one came in the box. So that'll set things up. They've already had a free kick with a good chance that went off the crossbar. Now we have a penalty kick here for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who offensively have just come in waves so far.
I mean, they're just lightning fast, and I that looked like a good call to me. I mean, we're kind of a ways away, but I thought there was contact, and I didn't see any real argument from any of the Commodores players.
Yeah, it was one of those. You got the hand caught in the cookie jar here as we'll set things up. Again, no numbers here this afternoon, so we'll do our best to identify the goal scorers here and those making the play for the Riverhounds. Get everything coordinated between the referees as a ball comes onto the field or a piece of debris. So reset things here with 15:20 gone by in the opening half.
Well, first challenge for Tesher here. We'll see if he can get a stop.
We'll see if Tesher is up to the opportunity. Nothing like getting one early as the opening boot and just a soft little liner and a 1-0 lead for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds.
Well, he guessed right. And again, we'll go down at halftime and try to put some names with. I feel like Bob Uecker at the beginning of Major. We'll try to put some names with these with these uniforms. But we'll go down at halftime and get the info on who scored what for the Riverhounds, because as the viewers see, they do not have numbers on their jerseys.
So 15th minute is when the opening tally comes through for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who lead 1-0 here in this friendly between the Erie Commodores and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Again, the inaugural game for these Riverhounds in the Riverhounds 2 club.
And they play at the beautiful, it used to be Highmark Stadium, now FNB Stadium, aptly named because it's right on the river in downtown Pittsburgh.
Yeah, right there along the south side and along Carson Street down there in Pittsburgh. Right there along with Terry Wargenis and the Gateway Clipper Fleet as they cruise along the Allegheny.
There you go, yeah. I actually thought Pitt football could play some home games there. They don't fill up their current stadium, but it's neither here nor there.
Yeah, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish had quite a trip there to Acrisure Stadium earlier last fall.
That did fill it up, but unfortunately their home schedule this year not quite as robust.
No, the likes. I think Bill Belichick, though, will be making his way to the place where the Three Rivers meet.
I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to get in trouble.
Jack Quinn. I'm John Liney. Thanks so much for joining us. Here's some pressure as this time the Commodores look to set things up. Early action here from Planas as he tries to get the crosser into the box, but quickly booted away there. So the Commodores will have their opening corner of action here this afternoon.
So Citron did a nice job. He just couldn't get there in time to box out the defender and get positioning there. But with the ricochet, first corner of the year for Erie, and we'll see what they can do.
You said it a couple of times here, Jack, but not only on the offensive side, but the recovery speed there by the defense to come and thwart Citron coming late into the box. Quickly evident.
This is Sanchez. And one of the things Erie did a lot last year was the give and go, but new coach, new players, new team.
Yeah, sometimes, again, experiments. As this one into the box, trying for the header there is coming in late was Bovan, but he could not get a header, and the Riverhounds clear as Erie resets. So they'll go to the far side once again. It seems like they want to try the left on the attack here so far in this one. So again, trying to gain a step. They'll cut back and reset here, trying to reverse fields. As with it now, Jacob Anderson. Anderson will have to retreat and reset. Baudelet with it, kicks it to the far side. Sanchez with pressure from the defender, just going to retreat. Boy, the Commodores have had a few chances, but they've had a tough time trying to figure out early on in this one how to break this stout defense from the Riverhounds.
Yeah, this is an extremely quick ball club on both sides of the field. We're seeing it here. But look, you want to play somebody. You don't playing a rum-dum team in an exhibition or a friendly is not going to help you at all. So.
Yeah, and you want to see what you have. Again, as this one's booted deep down in, but I believe that one out of play, so it'll be should be a throw-in. I think they just caught the corner there as we try to see where things are set up. Yep, a throw-in will come right around the 10-yard line as the Riverhounds. Yeah, again, you want to challenge yourself. It's like that early season college football action that you see. You want to get the tough tests there out of the way if you're a lower-level conference to kind of see where your group needs to build around down in the FCS.
And even the better teams, you want to challenge yourself, unless you're Penn State. Other than that, a lot of the major teams do play quality non-conference opposition. One thing that's really cool to see, the younger Commodore players, this is a whole organization from the top on down. It's not just this main team are here, and they got a little cheering section going on down there, which is great to see.
Yeah, the next generation, next wave is that one trying to come in with Silva.
Open net, that's a goal.
And look at that. Connolly announces quickly his presence here. And that one comes just 4 minutes after the Riverhounds had the opening tally. And how about that? It's not necessarily how many chances, but what you do when you have them. And the Commodores come away with that one as 2025 college season. Connolly with 4 goals and an assist, and he pots his first as a member of the Commodores.
Yeah, I don't think the defenders knew that Morano was going to come out, and that's what we've talked about, communication. But Conley taking advantage of the empty net, I think there was some indecision there from the keeper as to whether or not to come out and smother it. You got to commit to that, and again, that'll come for the Riverhounds. But a nice job, and we're tied up at 1.
You can see the talent of Connolly early in this one. As we continue along here, he has had a couple of opportunities and has found his way in that soft spot behind
Erie Commodores goals
the defense.
Number 9, Cyrus Connolly.
As we restart here, 20 minutes gone by. Connolly, as we mentioned, if you're just joining us, a member of the Cayman Islands national team. I think that was the great thing, Jack, in kind of preparing for this one, was to watch not only the talent of all these kids at the college ranks, but to see just where they're from. Spain, Brazil, Cayman Islands, a couple of Frenchmen as well.
And, of course, the team owner hails from Ireland.
Yes.
John Melody.
And then the nice thing, too, about this is John, as you mentioned, he looks all over for the talent to be a part of this team. But there's the local flavor as well. You have a McDowell Trojan and Charlie Peterson, Dylan Danch, as we mentioned at the top, of the Cathedral Prep Ramblers. So some local representation as well. As this one, an offsides call there on the Riverhounds, so the Commodores will retake possession.
And again, in a freezing evening, windy, cold, a lot of fans have come out here to Mercyhurst, so great to see. And we're going to be right back at it Saturday night as we get into NPSL play. So hopefully these folks and then some come back. It's always great, too, because it's a great event to bring kids. There's all kinds of stuff to do. And you'll see that as well with some of the younger soccer players as the season goes on and being recognized and whatnot.
We'll have a goal kick as that time. Tesher trying to come out and play that one, but some good recovery by his defenders there to help him out after the miscue there in the box. Tesher from Germany, 2-year at Coastal Bend College, saw 33 games of action there. As the goal, they go short on the goal kick and try to exit the zone there, but being pressured that time is Bovan. Here comes Commodores as Connolly with the ball now. He'll try to feed it up ahead, and here comes Bruno Fornes. Out of step, we'll see how much speed he can get to try and get the crosser. Cuts inside as he's taken down, no call. Still some pressure here as trying to push ahead was Balde, and just missing over top the crossbar.
Yeah, they missed one there, though. Fornes and Erie will keep it up at this end, but Fornes got clipped. It wasn't egregious, but I think you've got to throw it. Would not have been a PK. It was outside the box, but I feel like that's one that you got to call. But, hey, it's the first game for the referees as well.
Everybody's figuring it out
Absolutely.
Here as we get started for the season. Alex Sanchez will head to the far corner as he will get set to send it in for another corner kick here as we're nearing the halfway point of the opening half of play. Sanchez, another Spaniard. He played a couple of years at Upper Iowa, previous school at Harcum College. As Jack mentioned in the pregame show, D2 CCA Midwest Region 2 second team selection. See what he can do here this time on the corner. He went straight for the net on the first attempt. And right back into the box, but a header that's going to go out behind the back line, so that'll set up yet again another opportunity for Sanchez.
Right in front of the Topiary Lakers below the scoreboard. They've done a great job. The scoreboard, one time it was impossible. I'm sure you had this problem, couldn't it? They've done a great job with both scoreboards. They got the video board on the other end, the improvements to the press box, which we're really appreciative of. And they got a nice little patio area as well. They've done a great job here.
As Sanchez sends this one to the box, a header, but a great chime by Moreno to try and get a hand on that one and boot it out for at least the time being. But a reset here as things move across. Plenty of action here this time for the Commodores as trying to reset in the box, but the Riverhounds do a good job to try and get this one out. But great pressure here as the Tide, you can feel it starting to turn a little bit in Erie's favor. Yeah, and I don't know if Erie's made any adjustments or if they're just being a little bit more aggressive, what exactly, but you're right, it is tied in 37 right in front of us for the Riverhounds. Made a nice job there to get that ball out and box out his man. You mentioned the upgrades here, part of the Laker for Life campaign that saw a number of upgrades to different facilities across the Mercyhurst campus. And again, if you're the Commodores, that wind is strong at their back. You really want to try to take advantage of that. And because it's the earlier start, it probably won't die down a whole heck of a lot here. So you'd love to get a goal or two more before the break. Yeah, if you can take that lead into the second half, helps a lot with the way you can play and defend there in the second half of play. Of great pressure that time. As coming up is Bustamante, a man that knows a thing or two about playing here at Saxon Stadium as a member of Mercyhurst. It's been a pretty even game here, Jack, through the first 25-plus minutes here as this one tries to get behind the defense, but a great play that time by Anderson to thwart the chance there for the Riverhounds. Yeah, it really has been. I was a little bit concerned in the very early going because the Riverhounds were really in control. But as you said, Erie's done a nice job here and really controlled things over the last 5 or 6 minutes. It was that first initial wave, about first 10 minutes or so, 10 or 12 minutes, that Pittsburgh seemed to have the field tilted in its direction. But the Commodores have responded here and starting to set into that system, rather, that Coach Nastuda wants to play. An Eastern New Mexico grad, the head coach here, as the Riverhounds cut in here. Around 4 Riverhound defenders still moving. Again, we don't have numbers on the back of the Riverhounds, but the Commodores come away as that ball played from behind and will play on. Bodies everywhere. They're really, now the first one was a good no call. I thought there may have been contact back there on Pittsburgh, but hey, let them play. Play on, get a feel for things, and get a little momentum going here. But I think the defensive structure has been mostly pretty strong here for Coach Nastuda in the early going. As we'll reset here for the Riverhounds and try to re-enter into the attacking third. They go to the far side, wide side. Again, just settling in here for the Commodores. 1-1. We had the opening goal, if you're just joining us, at the 15th minute from the Riverhounds on a goal kick. And then Cyrus Connolly coming in as he slipped behind the defenders for his first in the Commodores uniform in the 19th minute. As Erie comes ahead. That'll be Erie's ball as last touch there by the Riverhounds just near the outline. And a PSA, they're always looking for ball boys. So if you'd like to be a ball boy, if you live in the Erie area, again, next home game Saturday, always looking. Yeah, Niagara 18-12, the first of 2 matchups to start the season, a home-and-home set between the two clubs to start the NPSL and Great Lakes action. That's become a great rivalry. Erie used to be big rivals with Buffalo. Buffalo changed leagues, and now Niagara has kind of taken their place as the main rival. You'll see some fans from Niagara. It'll be a fun atmosphere. And this Erie Commodores team, no stranger to success as we get this one in there as Fornes tries to battle 2 defenders but can't find his way to slip through, and it's Riverhounds headed the other way. They'll try the far side, try and get this one and cut near midfield. But good defense there by the Commodores to send it back the other way. And I like the patience. Wait for everyone. No need to push. You mentioned this is going to be a patient team and smart here, and they'll see if they flip the field over this way, just feeling things out. As Anderson takes it here, he'll move into the attacking third. He'll get it as Citron. Going to send it far side for the late defender. We'll see how the Commodores attack here. Still some action there. Silva right in the box. He'll go with a little give and go, just flip it up, but nobody there. They were hoping for Fornes to sneak in the backside, but a clear, and that'll set up another corner this time for the Commodores.
Bustamante, I believe, 18, was the one that made that beautiful cross to flip the field over to the far side. And as you said, just unfortunate. I think Fornes was kind of caught in no man's land, thought he'd make a run, but they do get a corner out of it.
So the first two have come from the far side. This time it's the Commodores on the near side, and this time it'll be Citron taking it. Sanchez had taken the three previous corners from the other side of the field. Hand up, we'll see if he goes indeed long. Is this one on net? Looking for the backside there. That time he was looking for Anderson to try and put that one home on the header, but cannot do so. Ball still loose in the box there. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving. Yeah, and they'll call the
Tonight's
infraction.
match is presented by our title sponsor, Lecom. We would also like to thank our other major sponsors, Erie Insurance, John Russell Brewing Company, Smith's Provisions, Curtsy Foods, R. Frank Media, Visit Erie, Marquette Savings Bank, and Michelob Ultra.
As we continue along here. About 15 minutes or so away from halftime. Again, remember, don't go anywhere at halftime. As we'll kind of recap, I'll head down and talk to Coach Nastuda here about his first half performance from his club, and then we'll also have an interview from a member of Lecom, the great title sponsor here of our coverage and our live broadcasts all season long.
Oh, we're 30 in the 31st minute. Still no substitutions yet. We'll see what they do in the second half.
Yeah, it's interesting to see just where these guys, in terms of the conditioning format they've been in, a lot of these guys playing in a number of late season tournaments, but also in this early cold weather here. It is supposed to be much warmer as we move to Saturday, as the pressure there from the Riverhounds thwarted by the Erie defense.
And again, they've been practicing. For those not watching outside of Erie, it's been nice. It's been not hot, but in the upper 50s, 60s. Tonight we're in the mid 40s and it's windy. So obviously they're not used to this type of workload and then the chill. Although I guarantee you they'd take this 10 times out of 10 than 90 degrees and humid, which we may see later on.
Yeah, and the nice thing, though, at least a little coverage up on the hill as compared down to the lakefront, because usually you get down there around the Erie Insurance and UPMC ballpark area, you could probably drop about 5 or 10 degrees, so it'll be even cooler, as we said in here, as Tesher will reverse fields here for his club.
And we do have a game on July 3rd, so we'll hear the ambient fireworks in the background for that one as well.
Part of many America 250 celebrations. There will be quite a busy weekend both here in Erie and around the country, celebrating 250 years of America, as Anderson will reverse to Tesher, coming near side, just had to reset there, and they'll flip the field. As that time, it's a battle near midfield as Erie comes away with it. We'll see if they can get into the attacking third. Alvaro Planas was there mixed up, but the Riverhounds looking. They have not had many opportunities since that opening goal on the penalty kick. It's been mostly Erie controlling possession, and that's something Coach Nastuda talked about. He wanted his team to take possession and force the other club to try and turn things over.
Yeah, stout from the Commodores. The Riverhounds doing a good job moving it basically from midfield into about 20 yards out. But you get there, and the stoppers, the defensemen, doing a phenomenal job, the sweepers, etc.
Quick little flip there to try and get things going. They'll reverse it, and then a fire one on box, but a good job there by, I believe it was Anderson there, to kind of head that one away. Grabbing at his face a little bit after taking that one, a little tempo behind it. But Erie will reset. As on the back end as well as Martin Baudelet, the Frenchman, will send it across to Anderson. Citron, another member from France on this Commodores roster. Oh, almost a little trouble there for Tesher there on the return pass from Anderson. As we talked about off the top, sometimes this opening half trying to feel each other out. Again, it's been a lot of new faces as a part of this. Not as many returners as we've seen in years past for this Commodores club. And here comes Erie on the attack again. Connolly trying to stay on side, use that speed. It's going to get fed to him as he has the opening tally and a shot. Morano with a save there as Connolly almost with his second of the match here this afternoon. He has been a presence felt atop the offensive zone here for Erie. And again, we want to thank our great sponsors throughout the season and a member of the Commodores as tonight's match, our title sponsor all season long, LECOM. A leader in the area here in terms of training the next wave of sports medicine. As this one thrown on, Tesher will just corral this one and reset. Also want to thank many other members, Erie Insurance, John and Russell Brewing Company, Smith's Provisions as a battle there in the defensive zone, Curtsy Foods, R. Frank Media, Visit, Erie, Marquette Savings Bank, and Michelob Ultra. The Commodores will boot this one away from Tesher. Trying to find Connolly on a run there. Can't get it to him as Silva battles there, but it's the Riverhounds that gain possession.
Really want to thank our Frank Media for doing this great video setup with all the intros and whatnot this season. They do a phenomenal job. He's right in the room next to us, so I know he can hear us. And then you think of all the things to film this time of year. You've got graduations, you've got proms, you've got all of the weddings, etc.
He has got a great group and many people working here today that we want to thank as the Riverhounds. A great job there by Erie to kind of thwart that offensive chance. As that time it was Fornes coming up to step and challenge as Connolly a little shaken up and slow to get up there after a meeting between he and a Riverhound.
A little bit surprised they're not trying to go down. There they go. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised they weren't trying to go further down the sideline, get a cross in. That one easily booted away.
The Riverhounds will settle into the attacking third, try to make a run here, but quickly. Watch the great collapsing job as a give and go here. We'll see if they can get the crosser as this one just played on the near side. Now the boot into the box, but that one last touched by a Riverhound. That'll set up a goal kick.
A little bit of contact there, but I think it was fairly even keeled. So no harm, no foul.
Yeah, our Frank Media and his group were up here on Monday filming all the great media day and many of the social media posts and content that you'll see throughout the season. Again, stay tuned to Off the Pitch, a weekly Commodores-based podcast for the latest updates from the team, players, coaches, and much more as they try to give you content, take you inside this team as they come together in what they hope is a very lengthy season and a run as they try to capture this club's 7th NPSL title later this season.
And the folks working the cameras are outside. Like we said, it's about 45 degrees. We are in the nice climate-controlled brand new press box here at Saxon Stadium, so we give them a lot of credit.
It's northwestern Pennsylvania, Jack. Just wait 10 minutes and you'll have probably a new change of weather normally. As Anderson will set things up to Citron.
To do a state semifinal high school football game one year in DuBois from the bleachers. That was interesting. My partner, Jim Marnella, as you can imagine, was not thrilled with that particular setup, but it's a fun game.
It is always interesting, the different setups around the state of Pennsylvania.
Or lack thereof.
Yes.
And this is high school. This is in this league, everything. The NPSL does things first class, no doubt.
As the Riverhounds thwart an opportunity there for the Commodores, 6-time NPSL champions for this Erie Commodores club in 09, 2011, 12, 13, and then they went back-to-back in 17 and 18 under the helm of owner John Melody. They certainly have a success in this league.
And it had been a while since they'd been so close. I think it was the last 3 years they had a chance to make the playoffs if things broke their way going into the final home game, and it just didn't quite work out for them. That's why we said at the outset, they know how important every game is. Not that they didn't before, but they really want to emphasize it because they don't want to have to worry about other teams losing, and they want to have those playoff games in July right here.
And that was Citron there as the Commodores will have this. Well, and the big thing, too, is not just about the start but the finish. A year ago, the Commodores were sitting at 5-2 before a couple of losses late in the season set up that final game against Cleveland FC in which the Commodores had a clean sheet, 2-0 the final in that one before they went off to the postseason and bowed out in the opening matchup against Flower City. Has a great run here as here comes Silva on the far side. He'll look for Connolly, look to set things up. Well, he cut inside. Great move there and just throws it into the box. Citron sitting right there, but a great block by the defender. Another shot that time, but a better save by Peter Morano, who has been a big part of this first half of action there. I think, Jack, was that Fornes coming late there on that opportunity?
Yeah, it was, and it was a great save by Morano, but they got away with a handball there. I'm quite sure that somebody hit that with their left hand, and then on the rebound was the shot and the great diving stop from Morano to his left. But Riverhounds may have caught a break there. It was incidental, obviously, so they play on, but caught a break there. Would have been a penalty kick.
As we approach here, the 39th minute just coming up again. Don't go anywhere on halftime as we have plenty of great stuff. We'll have reaction from both Jack and I. As we continue along here, we'll have a interview with a member of LECOM and the team doctor for this season. It'll be a great part of this team is LECOM, again, our title sponsor all season long. Adam Samarski, team doctor, will join us to just talk about this club and what they do over at LECOM, part of our halftime festivities.
Fans, a reminder, head on over to the concession stands.
And I will head down to the field here shortly with to talk to Coach Catalin Nastuda.
Make sure you head over to the concession stands.
In his first year here with the Commodores, as Nastuda assisted at Point Park during the 2025 campaign for the Pioneers.
I meant to look up where their home field is. There's not a lot of green space around Point Park. I wonder if they play at Highmark. I meant to look that up before the game. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, we will bring that.
It's a long season. We got plenty of time.
Yeah, I would imagine either that or maybe Carnegie Mellon.
Yeah, it could be.
As they have a couple of, I know Central Catholic just got down there in Pittsburgh. They normally play at a number of places. They just got that new field built with their partnership with the Steelers as part of the NFL draft that just took place down in the Steel City.
Oh, did it? I hadn't heard that they were hosting the draft. Is that true?
Yeah, something about a record-breaking. I think it was 805,000 people there to listen to the commissioner and many others shout out names that, for some fans, it was the first time they had heard it as the Riverhounds come on the attack here. And another shot. Great point-blank save by the Commodores there. That time as it was Tesher and I believe a defender that got something on that. And you can see the Riverhounds just, oh, man, they wanted that one to try and take an early lead into the half.
Yeah, Tesher got away with one coming out. But a phenomenal recovery in the spirit of the NHL playoffs. Kick save and a beauty. That was a phenomenal play by Tesher to somehow get a lower leg or foot on the ball. And now we've got the corner.
We're going to have a corner. I'll hand it off to Jack Quinn and head down for halftime as I'll meet with Coach Nastuda.
So they thwart that opportunity in a break. That one's actually going to stay in for the moment, and it stays in all the way. So we're in the 42nd minute. We'll try to let you know how much extra time. There have been no injuries. There have been only 2 goals. They may not give them any extra time. So we'll see how that goes. How are we? Is he just going to tell us? .43rd minute, 1-1. It's been an entertaining game here in this friendly between the Commodores and the Riverhounds. And if you're just joining us again, it is a friendly, and that's why you don't see any numbers. The Riverhounds kit's not quite ready yet. But again, it's not one that'll go in the standings, so no harm, no foul. And again, we'll be back at it Saturday night right here, 7 o'clock start, the early one today. So if you're in the Erie area, or if you're not, we hope to see you here at Saxon Stadium as Erie takes on Niagara 18-12. And that's when things really heat up. You know, play it back to Tesh. I think at this point, if you're Erie, you just want to get out of Dodge 1-1, although again, the Riverhounds will have a pretty good breeze at their back. This is Anderson up the field. Maybe something doing here. Forna is giving chase, but it will be a throw in the other direction for the Riverhounds. '45th minute, 1-1 on a chilly, windy, November-like evening here in southeast Erie, Pennsylvania. We're about 6-7 miles as the crow flies to the lakefront. And again, we'll see if any extra time is assessed. If I had to guess, I would say no, but I'm usually wrong when I try to guess how much stoppage time they give, so we'll just let it play out. And 2 minutes. So they give him 2, and looks like we're going to get a corner down there as the Riverhounds got the early goal on the PK, and go down and try to see who that was, but then tying it up in the 20th minute were the Commodores. It was Conley. And now we'll have a goal kick. And stay with us again at halftime. We'll have what will become a tradition. We'll have the halftime coaches interview. John has made his way down to the sideline. We'll see. I think they'll give them one more shot at this, and then they'll blow the whistle and get into the heated locker rooms. I'm sure the players will be anxious to warm up, especially the guys that have been in the pennies on the bench. (1-1) here in extra time in the first half. It was a PK goal, and then it was Cyrus Conley tying it up in the 20th minute for the Commodores. That's where we stand 1-1. Been a clean game, no chippiness whatsoever here in the first game ever for the Riverhounds, and of course the first match of the year for the Commodores. And right now, let's go down to John Leidick.
All right, Jack, welcome down here to the field. We'll wait for Coach Nestuda. Wait for Coach Nestuda down here to join us as the score at half, 1-1 between the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2 and the Erie Commodores as we continue along here. As Coach will come over, we'll talk about the opening half of play here from Saxon Stadium. As we continue along. Here. Commodores will come off from the opening half of play.
Well, having some technical issues. It's the first game for everyone, so we are at halftime here at Saxon Stadium on the campus of Mercyhurst University. 1-1 is the score. It was a PK goal scored in the 16th minute. And again, we apologize because we don't have numbers to go with the names. We'll go down at halftime here during one of the breaks and get the lowdown on who it was that scored that goal for the Riverhounds. And then in the 20th minute for the Erie Commodores tying it up, it was number 9, Cyrus Conley. Other than that, really not a ton by way of scoring opportunities. Erie had a couple of chances, and there were a couple of nice diving stops by Morano, the keeper. And then there was one right at the end of the first half. As coming out was Tesher. He made a great save with his lowered leg or foot and was able to kick it out. And then Erie was able to clear the rebound. And that's where we're at, 1-1. And once again, we want to remind you that the next home match, no rest for the weary, it'll be Saturday night, a 7 o'clock start. All of the home games until the final regular season game on weeknights, or weekends, it doesn't matter, will be at 7 o'clock. This one will be at 7. And for the full schedule, you can go online to our website. But 7 o'clock against Niagara, 18-12. It'll be right here at Saxon Stadium. So if you're in the Erie area, if you're a Niagara fan, you're up at the Buffalo Way, come on down. And so once again, halftime score, Erie 1, the Riverhounds 1. We will take a break. You're watching Erie Commodores Soccer presented by LECOM.
Isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For more than 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance.
LECOM is among the nation's largest and most applied to medical schools. We expand the boundaries of medical knowledge, challenging our students and preparing them to realize their potential. With 4 campuses nationwide and over 17,000 alumni, you can become part of the next generation of LECOM graduates. At LECOM, we make doctors.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
Welcome back to Saxon Stadium. John Luddick alongside Jack Quinn. Jack, a 1-1 score at the half, and boy, Commodores. They responded well after that opening tally by the Riverhounds.
Yeah, they did. I was a little worried because Pittsburgh showed incredible quickness through the first 10 to 12 minutes or so, but Erie did a nice job recovering, nice job on defense. They allowed the PK goal early, which was a legitimate call. I mean, it was a good call. There was no argument. Buried the PK. But then Conley came back only 4 minutes later with the goal to tie it up, and each team had a chance. I want to credit both goalkeepers, Tesher and Marana, both made some phenomenal saves, especially the save that Tesher made with his foot or lower leg or thigh, whatever it was. Phenomenal save, because I thought it was going to be 2-1, but he was able to get it. They were able to clear it out. So 1-1. Here we go.
Yeah, Fornes was able to get the opportunity there. But I think the big thing you saw is you saw the establishment of an identity, a group in the Erie Commodores that want to possess the ball under Coach Nastuda, and they had just that there in the final 25 minutes of play or so in the end of the first half.
Oh, and the other thing that I liked, you're absolutely right, but the other thing I liked too was no fouls. Not a lot of fouls, I should say, and you never know when you've got a new team for either side, really. It's the first game ever for the Riverhounds 2 team for Pittsburgh, and then first game of the year with Erie, all these new players. The communication's been good. There's been no chippiness for either side, which is good. And the teams they don't look like it's their first game. They look like they've been around for a while. So that bears well for the game Saturday night for Erie, certainly.
We'll see how it all plays out. We'll step aside here for just a quick minute. And then when we come back, we'll talk to a member of LECOM, our title sponsor here, about talk to the team doctor about what he expects from this team and much more. You're watching Erie Commodores Soccer here. Back in just a moment.
Visit Erie, Good Life, Great Lake.
If you know what you want, LECOM will help you achieve it. We are among the nation's largest and most applied to medical schools, offering programs in medicine, pharmacy, dentistry, and podiatry, with student-centered learning and a nearly 100% residency placement. With 4 campuses nationwide, you can count on LECOM for your future. Become the medical practitioner you know you can be. At LECOM, we make doctors.
Visit Erie. Good life, Great Lake.
We welcome you back here to halftime. Pleased to be joined by the team physician here for the Erie Commodores, along with LECOM, our title sponsor here throughout the season and bringing you these broadcasts. Dr. Adam Samarski, sports spine and rehabilitation, medical doctor at Lake Erie Sports Medicine. He joined in 2025. He is the head team physician of the Erie Commodores, the Erie Rugby Football Club as well. And a physician for USA Wrestling, Allegheny College, Corey High School. So, Adam, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me up here. If nothing else, thaw out a little bit here at halftime.
Yeah, I was going to say, not exactly what you're hoping for this time of May, but pleasure to be here. What's it mean to you to be a part of this Commodores club and this Commodores season?
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm originally from Erie, Pennsylvania. I've been away for about 20-plus years. Spent some time in the Navy doing sports medicine, most recently as a sports medicine department at the Naval Academy, and excited to be back in town in Erie, Pennsylvania. I grew up playing soccer. Know Coach Melody from being a young man playing soccer here, growing up in Erie, and so excited for this full circle moment.
Dr. Samarski, LECOM has done so much in terms of sports. Of course, you've got the naming rights of the Pirates spring training home in Bradenton. We used to see their names on the Cleveland Browns practice jerseys. I don't blame them for no longer wanting to be associated with the Browns, but that's neither here nor there. And, of course, this longtime partnership with the Erie Commodores. Why is it that LECOM, which is such a pillar of this community in Erie, has figured out it's so important to be involved with local sports? It really has been a pillar for them and for Erie. It's been a good fit.
Yeah, I think that not only is it good to be a part of high-quality soccer, but good to have good partnerships in the community, and it's more than just sports medicine, and it's more than just like taking care of people in the community, but building those partnerships. I agree. Awesome.
Take a look. An exciting time. You mentioned your connection with the soccer. What is it like to have the Erie Commodores in town, and what are you hopeful for when meeting some of these guys here as you get the season underway officially after this friendly here on Saturday?
Yeah, I think high-quality soccer with guys from around the country and around the world being here to play soccer and participate in the community, and for the community to be able to watch some of the stuff during the summertime when the remainder of college soccer is on break is awesome. And it's a privilege to be a part of any sports team as a sports medicine physician, and this is a great opportunity, so we're excited to be a part of it.
I've got to ask you, you're a Navy man now. There's talk that they're going to move Army-Navy off of its traditional date. I'm sure that nobody wants to see that, right? They got to keep this game a standalone game, right?
Yeah, keep it a standalone game, and also there's also some rumors of it having to be a play-in for the playoffs. That'd be pretty exciting.
That would be interesting. Well, and I got to be honest, when Ken Niumatalolo left, I was worried that things were going to go down. They've done a phenomenal job, actually even taking the program to another level.
Yeah, coach coming in and waiting for a couple years there, and no gaps there.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, exciting to see.
Dr. Samarski, also want to ask, we've seen LECOM and the expansion, as Jack alluded to. What does it mean to just see everything that they're doing here in the Erie community and the continued additions that they make to medical coverage and medical treatment here in this Erie region? Yeah,
I think from a sports medicine standpoint, it's exciting. I think that growing up and around the time that I started in my sports medicine journey, LECOM was participating and was really a juggernaut from a sports medicine standpoint, from the Bayhawks, the Otters, the local universities, local high schools, and I think we're here back in town, got back right here in fall, and we're here to build the things back up and be a part of the community and really make an impact from a sports medicine perspective. I appreciate that.
I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Yeah.
Is there a favorite moment in your time in sports medicine or an experience that you've had so far?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of those opportunities. I think that sometimes the level of the competition is exciting to be a part of that. I've been a part of the Olympic, like USA Wrestling, from an Olympic standpoint since about 2018, 2019. Wow. Had a handful of international travels with them and a lot of domestic opportunities. I think traveling with that group and watching and being a part of and keeping some of those high-level athletes apart and healthy is pretty impressive. But also local things are really important too, to watch a local high school kid come up and really be successful on a local, regional, or national level is really exciting as well.
I think you mentioned the Bayhawks, and sadly they're gone, but I hope people realize how lucky we are in Erie to have the LECOM imprint on all of these things. But I grew up with Family First. Not a lot of places had a place like Family First growing up, and we've got all these great facilities. We really are lucky in this community, aren't we?
Yeah, I think that traveling around a lot in the military, it's a lot of hit or miss of what the opportunities are from a sports perspective as participation-wise, and Erie is really broad from that standpoint, not just from, like you said, a Bayhawks perspective or all the wonderful opportunities from soccer, but it's pretty diverse here, and that's not really very common in a lot of other places in the country.
Dr. Samarski, thanks so much for your time here. Look forward to talking to you throughout the year.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. We'll have second half coverage of Erie Commodores soccer coming up after a quick break. Stay with us.
John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
Visit Erie, Good Life, Great Lake.
Life isn't a single moment. It's a shared ribbon that bends through the years. It binds us to the things and people we love most. One insurance company knows this because they live it. For more than 100 years, we've been with your family for the moments that matter most. Then, now, always. Erie Insurance.
Welcome you back here to Saxon Stadium here on the campus of Mercyhurst University for NPSL action. A friendly here today between the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2 and the Erie Commodores. A 1-all game as we get set for second half action here. As Jack Quinn down here getting us the goal scorer. He'll rejoin me in the booth. And again, don't go anywhere. As we have a moment, though, we want to thank all of the people that have made not only today's broadcast, but this season possible. Of course, our title sponsor here on the live broadcast, LECOM, one of the leaders in area medicine here and sports science as well. Also presenting tonight, John Russell Brewing Company, Erie Insurance major sponsor, Smith Provisions, Curtsy Foods, R. Frank Media, and his great staff, making sure that we could bring these games to you. Visit Erie, Marquette Savings Bank, and Michelob Ultra, all a part of supporting Commodore soccer throughout the season. The players have made their way back to the field, and as we get set for second half action, a recap of the opening half. Again, it was the Riverhounds with the opening tally in this one. That came in the 15th minute on a penalty kick and a 1-0 lead for the visitors here this evening. Then, just a short while later, exactly 4 minutes later, Cyrus Connolly in his first game as a member of the Commodores comes through with his first goal. A member of the Cayman Islands national team joining the crew, the 6'3" striker, coming up with the tying goal rally, I should say, and we are ready to go here for second half action. So the Riverhounds will take the opening possession, but that one goes out in the quick throw in here. The momentum, you would say, carried by the Commodores to end the opening half. As we continue along here, this one will go towards the net, and it does indeed look like we have a keeper change as Aymar Armandia takes over for Tim Tescher. So the German gives way to the Spaniard. And again, this one just a friendly, not counting towards NPSL standings or playoff implications. So see a little bit from each keeper, each getting a half here. As here come the Commodores on the run. This one coming, but a great recovery there that time. As coming in was Julian Tavar trying to make a play here, but great recovery that time. But it'll set up a opportunity for the Commodores just a minute into the second half of play.
As a reminder, the concession stands will be open for approximately another 20 minutes, so head on down for $5 John Russell beer, $1.
As we continue along here, set up for a corner kick. Commodores couldn't find one, but had a couple of good looks off the corners in the opening half. As they'll get set here to set things up, you see owner John Melody down there. Pivotal part of soccer in this region is the corner kick into the box, but a great header and a boot back that'll go just wide. As that time we start to see a couple of substitutions make their way, as I believe that was Santiago Geraldo that tried to get a second chance opportunity that just went wide.
Check, 1-2-1-2.
As Jack Quinn rejoins me in the booth. And Jack, you're doing yeoman's work down there, trying to identify as if you're just joining us, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds coming with their practice jerseys here today. So we do not have numbers to identify them. We do know in net it is Peter Morano, the keeper for the Riverhounds. Jack, any luck?
Yeah, I'm first of all, I'm glad I brought my albuterol inhaler. I didn't know I'd be doing this much running. But Bennett Painter, who had a phenomenal year at Bowling Green, is now on his way to Indiana, scored the PK goal for the Riverhounds in the 16th minute. So that's where we're at. Painter, great career at Bowling Green, had 5 goals, 3 assists, was all Missouri Valley second team. As we mentioned, the MAC no longer has soccer, so those guys play, most of them, in the Missouri Valley. And, of course, Akron's a great program as well. But he's now off to beautiful Bloomington, Indiana.
So one of those new B1G members as the soccer season will get underway next fall. Home to the college football champion.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm sure looking forward to that conference game. Makes a lot of sense that Indiana soccer is going to be playing the University of Washington in a conference game, but again, leave that be. I was speaking with some of the Commodores folks. We're going to get a lot more substitutions here in the second half.
As a chance here for the Riverhounds, just boot into the box. A chance here. Armandia comes out to challenge it. We did one of the substitutions was there. Aymar taking over as the keeper here for the second half for Coach Nastuda. Yeah,
and coming out Cole, literally and figuratively. Nice job there, going to his right to make that stop. And we've got a player down for the I see a 2.
That would be Bruno Fornes.
Yes, so
the Brazilian, as they're going to call over the team medical staff here. As we'll tell you a little bit about the new keeper here for the Erie Commodores, hailing from Pamplona, Spain. He was at South Nazarene University during his 2025 campaign, saw 17 games, 24 goals allowed, and he had 3 clean sheets. One thing he does love to do, he's a big reader, big novelist as well. He has a sister, and he's headed for exercise science. So the new keeper, Aymar Armandia, getting the second half after Tim Tesher allowed just the lone goal on the penalty kick there. And again, as we mentioned here, a number of new players to this Commodores lineup, and one that spreads around the world. So we will see how things set up here as a corner kick awaiting after Fornes makes his way off the field here. With walking under his own power, always a good sign, but there with the team medical staff as he comes across the field here to the near side where the benches are.
It was kind of away from the play. I didn't see exactly what happened, but as you said, he appears to be in one piece here as he walks off slowly. Not sure. Obviously, we don't want to speculate, but appears to be all right. So, obviously, in a friendly match, the one thing you don't want to see is any injuries, and that's the first time anyone's been shaken up really today.
Yeah, it seems like not putting as much weight on that right leg, but making his way. And again, we'll see if we can get an update here later from Coach as the match comes on. So that means coming onto the field will be Jack Emanuel, a name very familiar to people here in Erie, as the former McDowell Trojan who makes his way on for Fornes here.
Had some big moments for this club last year.
As this time into the box, but that one goes wide on the opportunity. And a chance here early in the second half, 5 minutes gone by, goes wide. Emmanuel, who comes in for Fornes, a 4-year player at Duquesne, 8-10 all-rookie team, as he made 55 appearances, 25 starts, and he was also at the high school ranks, as we mentioned, in 2020, a District 10 Player of the Year for the McDowell Trojan Boys Soccer Club. So the Commodores will reset things off of the goal kick and see if they can get things up and refine that momentum that they had in the second half, second part, I should say, of the first half. And it does look like we have also, I believe, a change in net on the other side for our friends from Pittsburgh.
Check 1, 2.
So,
1, 2. Hey,
again, a friendly here. No impact
check
on
1,
the
2.
standings.
Check 1, check 2. Check 1, check 2.
And we'll continue along here as here come the Riverhounds trying to get a run in on the near side, but that looks like it's going to go just a bit wide. Couldn't catch up to that time, the forward for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. So we will get set for a throw in here as we continue along here on the campus of Mercyhurst University. Finals week here for many of the Lakers as they wrap things up. As, a little stumble there from the keeper for the Riverhounds is just into action. Peter Morano left after his first half of play, and he came up with a couple of crucial saves to keep this one a 1-all contest late there in the opening parts of the first half. But here come the Riverhounds again. Much like the start of the first half of play, it's been a lot of pressure from the Riverhounds.
And not easy, obviously, when you've been sitting on the bench for the whole half. I mean, you can jog up and down the sideline a little bit, but when you're coming in cold like that, it's not the easiest thing in the world. So some of these guys, especially for the keeper, because there's not a whole lot you can do while you're sitting there throughout the first half. But he made a nice save early.
Gets set for the throw in here now. But the Riverhounds regain possession, and they're going to go on a run here, trying to feed it through to the box, but a shot in this one off the post and in as the Riverhounds. A little miscommunication on the defensive side and a 2-1 lead for the visitors, as that time it gets passed on the near side post by Aymar Armandia.
Well, it was a phenomenal pass, though, up the field. I mean, and he stayed on side as best I can tell. Obviously, they didn't call it, but that was just a great pass, and it just threaded the needle beautifully and put it into the right side of the net. Not much you can do there. That was solid offensive play.
That one just caught enough of that inside post to bounce in and a 2-1 lead. So we'll see if, much like the first half, the Commodores can respond here. Again, a number of substitutions for the team as they continue along here. That goal in the 54th minute in the second of the game for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, who take the lead. Again, the inaugural game here for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2 team, coming off a successful year for its USL1 mates, coming off the USL championship where they defeated FC Tulsa and penalty kicks 5-3. Has set things up here and going for the run. Alvar Silva trying to come down the near side and waiting for some help. And that coming in the Michu Bevon. Reset here for the Commodores, try to flip the field maybe.
Sylvia, a key cog coming up for Mercyhurst. He is outstanding. They're very lucky to have him. And he'll be playing his home games right here.
Nothing like not traveling too far from home.
No. Now, well, he was at Oklahoma Christian prior to that, so that's not the easiest place to get to from Erie, but here now.
I think that'd be a cool thing if they do. You know, you get the announcements during different sports scenes that just have like a flight tracker for each person as they're announced pregame.
You do see some flight tracking and coaching searches from some of the more off-the-beaten-path fans. I've not gotten into that.
I was going to say, there has been quite a change in the terms of the coaching tracking these days, regardless of the sport, as the Riverhounds will boot this one and try to head into the attacking third with more pressure. They have numbers staying on sides. We'll see if they get a crosser here. Already leading 2-1 with an early goal here in the 54th minute. And this one on net. What a great arm save there. Aymar Armandia, as the Spaniard comes away, but it'll be a corner kick for the Riverhounds.
Yeah, and starting for the Riverhounds a little bit like they started the first half with some pressure. Now Erie was able to adjust and then really take control of the field position after the first 5-6 minutes. See if they can do similarly here, but as you said, another corner coming up.
See, you wonder how much of this is just trying a couple of things out here in this friendly as the corner kick comes from the far side. See the movement. But a good job that time by the Erie defense to clear this one at least temporarily. And now booting it away that time is Bovon.
Oh, not sure he needed to do the no-look there, but did it anyway.
That one last touch, so by the Riverhounds, so the Commodores will have the opportunity to try and on the throw-in clear and try and gain some offensive momentum, something that has eluded them here early on in the second half after a great end of the first half of play. As we talked, Jack, the last 20 or 25 minutes of that opening half, they really controlled possession.
Yeah, they did, and again, both keepers came up big toward the end of that first half, and Tesher really with a phenomenal save. Erie, had not been for his good work with that kick save, very easily could have been down 2-1. As they are now, but that goal coming here in the second half for Pittsburgh.
One is always to thank our great sponsors, including our title sponsor for these broadcasts all season long. We'll be with you on the home matches and the season that we hope stretches deep into the summer months. LECOM, the big provider here, and want to thank all of our crew with R. Frank Media that are able to bring these games to you. I know a number of people outside in this one braving the elements. We want to thank them for bringing you this great action here to start the 2026 campaign.
One spacing just not quite there again. That'll come with time.
As another attack here for the Riverhounds. That time trying to make the stop, but couldn't. So we'll see if they get the crosser here on the backside, though. Couldn't connect for the Riverhounds as Bavon got beat there. And a quick chance for the crosser, but the Riverhounds couldn't connect on that one. So still 2-1 here as we approach
Again, fans,
13 minutes gone by.
Title sponsor, LECOM, along with our other major sponsor.
As we approach action here and this friendly. Riverhounds with another opportunity as they try to get this one to the box, but that time getting a foot on it. As I believe it was offsides on that one there. So Commodores trying to maybe slow things down here a little bit.
Probably never occurred to them with a 5 o'clock start they'd have to turn the lights on, but it's been dark all day. It feels like late November.
Dreary.
We had some thunder and lightning this morning, actually, down my way by the lakefront.
I think we had a little hail earlier on today. Grapple, I think, as the meteorologists have taught me in our weather department over at Erie News Now. If we want to get scientific. As we continue along here.
I learned what albedo is when it's snow. The snow is out and the sun's out, and you get that reflection. I remember that from a meteorology class I took.
We'll get our weather report sponsored later in the season here as a great feed up ahead, an opportunity. What a move there, and that time, instead of trying to take the chance and take a shot, Santiago Geraldo tried to move it along. Little miscommunication there. And a missed opportunity for the Commodores to try and even this one at 2.
Well, you said it, a beautiful move by Geraldo. Silva just wasn't quite there. If he had been 2 steps closer to the net, he would have had a great chance at putting that one home. But a great move nonetheless by 19 Geraldo.
Commodores trying to reset on the pressure here as Silva will try to reconnect on a little give and go. They'll look for the crosser here. Geraldo sends it into the box. A diving attempt by one defender, still loose as they try to clear the ball, and they do that time. It'll be corralled by Bavon. And he'll send it along here. Silva tries to get the crosser, then off a Riverhounds defender, and that'll set up a corner for Erie.
He drew 2.5 defenders, did Silva that time, showing you the respect he had. There's no way he could have fallen away, chipped it over them, but see if they can take advantage now of this corner. It'll be Sanchez to take it.
As we reach 15 minutes gone by here in the second half, again, the early goal coming from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds to take a 2-1 lead. So we'll set things up here as it looks like it'll be Sanchez set to take the corner here for the Commodores. Set things up in the net. And they'll send this one short side. His backdoor. Ball bounces around a couple of opportunities, but can't connect. A header, and that one corralled by the keeper for the Riverhounds. I thought they had it on the backside there. I think Jack Emanuel was there, as well as a number of others, almost with the equalizer for the Commodores. That time also Julian Tavar was there as well.
The keeper was away from the ball. It was just bad luck. It looked like it just took a bad ricochet for Erie. 8 times out of 10, that's probably in the back of the net.
But nonetheless, maybe the momentum and a little spark that the Commodores needed after falling behind here by a goal in the second half. 61st minute gone by. As we continue along here from Saxon Stadium on the campus of Mercyhurst University. If you're just joining us, I'm John Leidick alongside Jack Quinn. We'll be with you all season long here at home to bring you these broadcasts of Commodore soccer, both here on their streaming platforms on social media, as well as you can watch on Erie News Now Plus.
And, of course, this coming Saturday, regular season gets underway with Niagara 18-12, 7 o'clock right here at Mercyhurst. Hope if you're watching in the Erie area, come on out.
Should be an exciting time. You can get the tickets. Head over to eriecommodores.com. Number of great options there. Get the kids out, the family, get the soccer season underway. And we promise, from what I'm told, Jack, it'll be much, much warmer. upwards to 70 plus. Come out and enjoy a nice Saturday night here of Commodore soccer. As the keeper comes out to play this one, good angling there by the defender to keep the opportunity away from the Commodores here to try and find the equalizer.
Although, again, I bet if you ask the players, they'd take this 10 times out of 10 over hot, humid. You know, we get those games where they have to take water breaks, cramping. So, I mean, it's not ideal, but I think that they'd rather have this extreme than the other that you could see later in the summer. Obviously, we hope this team's playing deep into the summer.
Yeah, a group coming off a playoff trip a year ago as they face Flower City Union in the opening round after a dramatic final game here and a win over Cleveland and a 2-0 shutout. And that set them into the postseason at 6-4. They'll look to maybe do even better here this time around as the Riverhounds. One Commodore falls down, but a great play there. I think that was Emmanuel, that lost his footing there, but was able to recover. That brings me reminiscent of some of his plays and his time at McDowell.
Yeah, that was phenomenal. And then Geraldo, you just saw, I mean, you can see the speed that this young man, 19, has. I mean, just absolutely phenomenal when they get him on a run. I mean, it jumps off the page at you how fast he is.
So we'll see as Erie resets. Again, we've seen a number of different players. Will Perry up there now along with Julian Tovar. Get some fresh faces here for Coach Nastuda in his first year at the helm of the Commodores.
That's the second time we've seen Pittsburgh attempt a no-look pass really needlessly, and it's leading to potentially a chance the other way. We'll see.
Tried to get the run there. Geraldo was feeding that time to Perry, but just couldn't connect. As a great defensive play there by the Riverhounds.
Yeah, Tayo Baba just couldn't quite get there.
Reset and try to flip the fields here for the Commodores. With it now, Baudelaire. Pass it along to Bovan. But beating them near midfield, the Riverhounds. Little interaction there between Geraldo and a member of the Riverhounds. Fraction called.
I mean, they had to call that one. He was kind of hugging him a little bit there. So, and we'll get a substitution for Pittsburgh. I like the refs have really let them play. I mean, it's a friendly. There's no need to call nickel and dime fouls. They've done a nice job, I think, here tonight.
They have indeed. As we, everybody wants to settle into the season, right? You want to get adjusted. As we tick towards 25-ish minutes to go in the second half of play. Again, we'll figure out extra time here. Stay with us. We'll have post-game. We'll hear from the coach as well as the man of the match coming up at the end of this one before we say goodbye from this and get you set for the stage in the season opener, home opener here from Saxon Stadium against Niagara 1812. That'll all be coming your way here later on in tonight's broadcast. But resets back with Aymar Armandia and net. Keep will play a little pitch and catch here with a couple of his defenders before they look to advance.
And, of course, that's a right. I mean, you have the Commodores. Of course, I'm sure a nod to Erie's nautical past. Of course, the War of 1812. And I feel like Erie has always, with the Niagara being here, always kind of laid claim to our city being, of course, it was fought on the lake, so you can't really take claim. But I wonder if some Erieites are offended that 1812, Niagara thinks that they're sort of the city of the War of 1812.
That should be our. We should have like a poll question heading into this one.
Well, my aunt and uncle are War of 1812 reenactors, believe it or not. So I know they would not like that.
Look at that. Jack bringing the historical perspective here to the soccer pitch.
Yeah, there you go.
Did you have it on the bingo card earlier today? That is the question. As we play a little pitch and catch here, the Commodores will try to reverse field. This one will head over Bavon. Awaits. Baudelaire. A couple of Frenchmen on the back end.
Yeah, I thought he'd go to the near side of Bavon as well and just didn't see him there. And now you got a chance the other way.
Here come the Riverhounds. Maybe set things up for a crosser, but a good play there that time. That's worth the opportunity as Baudelaire comes up and puts pressure to try and at least thwart that opportunity there for the Pittsburgh.
The Riverhounds doing a better job as we said, other than really the first 6-7 minutes of the match initially of sort of controlling field position here. And again, that wind has died down, so not the advantage that Erie had perhaps in the first half.
Yeah, we talked about that with the wind advantage in the first half. You kind of wanted to take a lead there into the half. Now trying to play against it, and this plays in. You get that early second half lead. Now you can kind of sit back defensively and just let the wind play against your opponent. But here comes the Riverhounds again with the speed they have. A little tug there, but they play on.
Oh, nice.
Emmanuel back there, the former McDowell Trojan and District 10 Player of the Year, tries to boot it away. Spent 4 years at Duquesne, but here come the Riverhounds again, just trying to get it away. Getting a foot on that time, I think, was Bavon to try and direct that shot wide.
I don't think it was going anywhere anyway, but it was a nice play nonetheless to get his foot in there and deflect it out.
Never want to take any chances, right? Just get a little piece of it, take a little zing off, and make life easier for your keeper. Never a bad thought. Bavon.
And I'm not oh, we're going to get subs, I think. I thought I saw the ref signal in for the subs, but they put it in play anyway. But we're going to get some new faces coming out for the Commodores, it looks like. Yeah. Ebersbach is one of the two down there. It looks like Charlie Peterson as well, a veteran on this squad.
Yeah, Charlie Peterson's been a stalwart and a staple of this group since around 2018. But here come the Riverhounds trying to pressure again. That one going to take a fortuitous bounce back to Armand Dia in the keeper position. As the Commodores reset here and await, it looks like three substitutions maybe coming your way for the Commodores. That'll include as well, it looks like getting ready to step in here would be Gabriel Hernandez-Lace. Approaching the 70th minute of play here as this one thrown ahead, and a battle here for position. As that time it was Tovar still with it, still pressuring. He's going to try and get a shot off. This bounces across a couple of defenders before going out. That'll set up a corner kick for the Commodores.
Boy, incredible effort there he's 1 on 3, and to get a corner out of that is remarkable there. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot else he could do there. That's just great want to. And you get a corner out of it, maybe it leads to a goal.
Charlie Peterson coming on with Jack Emmanuel. Feels like the throwback days to the Trojans faithful.
Bavon, Sanchez are out for Erie. And Silva.
As this one thrown into the box there that time, Peterson trying to get ahead on it. Another kick, and this one just goes wide, but last touched. So, nope. They say that it was just off the foot there that time of Hernandez-Lace.
I couldn't tell if I didn't think it was deflected initially, but boy, it went so far off. I almost think it had to be.
Yep, the official here near midfield makes the change here, and it will be a corner this time on the opposite side for the Commodores, so another opportunity.
Geraldo's going to take it down there in the corner.
So we'll get set here from the corner as we have a whistle. Get things set. The referee, a little exchange there in the middle, trying to get the advantage there on position. Settle things down here with under 20 minutes to go, minus the extra time. As that one booted, a good punch there that time by the keeper for the Riverhounds, and that one goes out. And here come Pittsburgh trying to get out of its own defending third.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal. It looked like Dikembe Mutombo swatting that thing out of there.
Boy, you have the
depth. He's got the red and the black on, like the Atlanta Hawks.
Atlanta Hawks. It's fantastic, the depth you have today. We've crossed a number of sports here besides just that on the soccer pitches. Trying to feed ahead there that time. Geraldo looked to have a step, but just couldn't connect between him and Baudelaire on the back end.
And, this is a win, though. Even though it's going to be a throw for Pittsburgh, you can pressure up and see if you can get something going toward the net.
So Commodores with a couple as Perry there that time with the ball, gets possession.
Now, spacing issues on that one. They've got to have somebody over on the far side. They were a little bit too coagulated.
Yeah, Perry came over to try and help out, but he should have been the guy on the far side as they work things here, trying to gain the line. Baudelet play a little pitch and catch here on the back end with Zyla. As they'll reset here, try the far side. Just set things up here. Again, we'll see how much stoppage time they'll add to this one, as we did have that minor injury to start the second half, as this one ahead to Geraldo, who has some space to run, makes the move inside, but he is called for the offsides infraction.
Well, somebody was. I don't know who they called to be. It might have been the player in the middle of the field. I don't think it was
Geraldo.
Was it 19? Okay.
I don't believe it was.
Oh, yeah, I don't either. Yeah, that's what I was saying, yeah.
But nonetheless, that thwarts an opportunity for the Commodores as they try to find the equalizer here, down 2-1. If you're just joining us, the opening tally came in the 16th minute. The Riverhounds, as that was Barrett Painter on a penalty kick as he was taken down in the box, that opened up the scoring here. But it was a short while later, 20th minute, as Cyrus Connolly came up with the equalizer. And the Commodores, they maintained the momentum there at the end of the first half. But it was early, the 54th minute, the Riverhounds retook the lead for the second time in this one. 2-1 is where we stand in the 73rd minute.
Yeah, I mentioned he was at Bowling Green, now off to Indiana. It really surprised me. This shows you I don't pay enough attention to D1 soccer, that the Max stopped sponsoring soccer in 2022. And you look at how good Akron has been over the years as a program. We mentioned Bowling Green, and these schools are in the Missouri Valley Conference. Just an unfortunate casualty there that they no longer do it. They do have a place to play, as I mentioned, in whatever league they choose to be in, but it's unfortunate.
Yeah, for a long time, Akron, usually one of those teams you saw across the top 25, in the top 5, really, for the top 25 in NCAA Division I soccer. Always one of the powerhouse programs.
Of course, Sammy Teaga,
yeah,
Erieite, stalwart for Akron for a number of years for the Zips. They got rid of the rubber bowl, though. I wish that was still there. What a venerable old building.
As that time, trying to break in the Riverhounds as we have a whistle to stop play here.
Now, we don't know his number or his name, but that was a really smart play because it was by him, but he knew there was going to be contact, so he went down like a bag of cement. There was contact. It wasn't a flop, but he knew that nothing else was going to happen. So he goes down, gets the whistle, and now they get the free kick. So that was a smart play.
Yeah, not like the NBA playoffs, huh, Jack?
No.
Cleveland Cavaliers coming up later tonight, a pivotal Game 5 against the Detroit Pistons, as the New York Knicks sitting and waiting to see who they'll face in the Eastern Conference Finals. As we continue our broad, as the kick here. This one bounces towards the net there, and fortunate enough, nobody was able to get a run there behind the defense, and it's Armandia to come up.
Well, they did. That was a beautiful ball all the way across the field. Just didn't quite get enough on it. Another, I don't know, maybe a foot higher, and there would have been a pretty good run to the net there. That was a great cross on the free kick.
Darkness starts to set in here at Saxon Stadium. Again, don't go anywhere at the end of this one. As we'll have we'll talk to Coach Nastuda, as well as the man of the match, which I think early on in this one you'd have 2 nominees for that, and then be Cyrus Connolly for his play in the first half, as well as Tim Tesher for his play in net to keep it a 1-1 game heading into halftime.
I'll leave that to you. Of course, there's, as you mentioned, we've got plenty of time. The conclusion is yet to be played out. It could be a hero. That's the other nice thing about having a friendly like this is you can simulate anything you want here. You can do, and play that desperate style that you would down a goal normally and push up and have everybody up as you would in a desperate situation in a regular season game. That was an excellent job boxing out there and allowing the keeper to take it by Baudelet. That was just a phenomenal play.
Yeah, the nice thing is you don't have to worry in a friendly about goal differential and what the final score is come standings time at the end of the year. So as that one off a member of the Riverhounds, it bounces to the defense here with about 14 minutes to go, a little less till the 90th minute, then we'll see how much time they add on. But also want to thank again our title sponsor, LeCom, for making these broadcasts possible, R. Frank Media, and all the great members of the crew out there bringing this broadcast to you in this opening friendly. Again, rejoin us on Saturday as we start the regular season and NPSL action against Niagara 18-12, 7 o'clock. We'll get underway with pregame at 6:30 as the Riverhounds continue to push along here, trying to edge out that time as Adrian Ebersbach just guiding to the sidelines, but the Riverhounds still pressuring on Erie. Clear there that time and a little space to run. We'll see how things, the keeper, they try to play a little give and go there that time. Putting on the pressure was Tovar.
Now, that's what we call a teaching moment, because I bet they're going to go back and look at the film and say, you know what, if you're going to come all the way up that far, you need to be aggressive and punch that thing out of there. Talking about the keeper, that's one they'll go back and look at and say, hey, you got away with one, you got to fix that.
All the early portions of the first half. And again, when you're bringing a number of different players from different parts of the world as well as different universities, trying to feel out how you're going to play keeper and defender and learn the tendencies of each other here as the season goes along. Part of this opening game and a part of the first few that you'll see for both squads as they head to their respective league play.
Well, that's the other thing. A lot of these guys don't know each other, socially, let alone having played together. So the whole, it's the whole thing is a learning process for both of these squads, really.
As this one thrown in, trying to get a crosser there, as I believe it was Geraldo waiting on the backside there. Couldn't get it to him, and that sends the Riverhounds out on a run here. Up 2-1. But a great job of the defense coming from behind and pressuring. That time was Geraldo. 2-1 the score. We also want to mention, if you're looking for updates as well, stay in tune with the Erie Commodores. Add them on Instagram, Facebook for the latest news and notes, and also stay up to date with the team as well with their podcast, Off the Pitch. Owner John Melody talks to members of the coaching staff, the players, and much more as they take you inside the Erie Commodores all season long. A great way to, from game to game, keep you up to date and wind down the time in between matches.
Well, and another reason why you really want to follow the social media is because they'll put out before the road games the links to be able to watch and live scoring as well. We're going to get a yellow card, our first yellow of the season here.
And again, this one coming against the Riverhounds as they got a full part. I believe that was Perry who was trying to make a run there on the jersey.
And I don't know why they're not moving closer toward the net at this moment. Boy, they went quickly, though. Worked out.
Here comes Geraldo with space. He sends it on net and just a bit wide, maybe about 3 feet, but he had a good look on the keeper there as there was almost, it seemed like Pittsburgh had paused for a discussion with the referee, and the Commodores almost capitalized.
Yeah, and you see what a strong leg for a smaller gentleman. What a strong leg he has, and that was into the wind. The wind had picked up, and just a little bit too high, but good effort on that one. But as I was just saying, they will, on the social media, they'll put out the information when the Commodores are on the road, the links, how to watch them, how to keep up to date with the live scoring and whatnot. So another good reason to follow the Commodores on all the various social media platforms.
Yeah, and if you want to get to know the players as well, they did a great job with the introduction graphics and a couple of
nickel dimer.
A couple of messages with each player that joined the staff, joined the team this year.
Ebersbach, I think, has a legitimate beef there. There was not a whole lot there. Yeah. But free kick for the Riverhounds.
Two guys coming together. The free sets up the free kick. Again, want to thank our sponsors that are a part of this season of making Commodore soccer possible. Erie Insurance, John Russell Brewing Company, Smith's Provisions, Curtsy Foods, R. Frank Media, Visit Erie Marquette Savings Bank, and Michelob Ultra's. Pressure here from the Commodore, or from the Riverhounds. And that time, the crosser looked like they had a great opportunity on a great ball, but that time the backside guy coming in kind of let up, and that allowed the Erie defense to clear. Geraldo looking, waiting, kind of surveys the scene. He'll give it off to Hernandez-Les, and they'll play a little pitch and catch. Geraldo, will he make a run? He just feeds it there, but that time miscommunication with his fellow mate, Tovar. Here come the Riverhounds again, pressuring and a run.
Oh, nice pass.
Plenty of space, fires on net, but that time, what a job by Albi Zyla to come up and get a piece of that one and send it out of harm's way.
Yeah, you said it. That was a great recovery by Zyla. A transfer from Casper College, now at Angelina College. They allowed that entry pass, but then recovered nicely.
Commodores with a chance. They catch up to that one before it hits the end line. It's still surveying this scene, trailing right now 2-1. With 9 minutes to go, we'll see how much they add in stoppage time. Geraldo going to the box, looking to try and get a header on it.
Nice
Ball
aggression.
Still loose.
But that was just great aggressive play there. The 4 or 5 Riverhound players just standing around.
I believe an offside's called here. As we'll continue along here. Again, don't go anywhere at the end of this one as we will head down to the field. I'll have an interview with the head coach here, Catalina Nastuda will join me along with the man of the match. Still yet to be decided. We'll see how things play out here in the rest of this matchup.
Is that up to us? Do we have the executive power to make that decision, or is that decided by somebody else? I don't know.
You know what? Again, I guess we could use the power of social media for the fans in attendance. That maybe we'll talk with the ownership group here. The power poll.
We're not going to crowdsource this vote. I don't know.
Listen, there's a lot of Commodore faithful down
there.
There
are, yeah. We have a great crowd despite the cold weather. Good crowd over at the baseball game behind us as well. There have been 3 or 4 foul balls that have come over here as this game has gone on.
No, the Commodore faithful showing up big for this one, and they're excited for the return of soccer here in a group that they hope makes a long, long run into the summer months. Again, the regular season, we are far, far away from that, but concludes July 3rd as they try to push it ahead. Is Geraldo down there all by himself.
Great job to stay on side as well.
As he waits for the trailer here, and he's going to feed it there. Crosser into the box, and almost that time it was Gabriel Hernandez-Lace looking to try and get that one into the box, but that'll set up a corner kick here with about 7 minutes to go before we check in on stoppage time.
And Dylan Danch, who is a goal scorer, getting ready to check in for the Commodores here. Thought they might send him in there, but...
So we'll get set for the corner. As this one sent into the box, but a clear on the header there. That time, not enough elevation on that ball to try and set something up in the box. As this one, a crosser and almost the opportunity. What a ball there from Hernandez-Lace. And I don't know, I believe that was Tovar coming on the backside. Just got a piece of it, but not enough.
Yeah, that was just a gorgeous. You could not have placed it on his head any better. That was a gorgeous ball. Just, sometimes the angle off the header doesn't work. It didn't work that time, but that's exactly what you want to be doing.
Martin Baudelaire will come off and give way to Danch, who comes in, and well-known name here locally as he played at Cathedral Prep, and he was the hero on multiple occasions on a Cathedral Prep run 2 years ago, and he has since gone on to play soccer at Uville up in Buffalo, New York, but he had the state semifinal winner and then the double overtime winner to help the Ramblers clinch their latest state championship at the PIAA level.
Nice.
And an opportunity here, but a great challenge as that time it was on cue. Danch looking to make a run.
Yeah, and it was the right idea, but Hernandez-Lace just a little bit too far out in front. Another step and a half for Danch. He would have put that in the back of the net.
The Commodores starting to up the intensity and pressure here in the closing minutes. As here comes Geraldo, who has had a heck of a second half here since he entered into the game. Did not play in the first half.
He looks like Reggie Bush out there with the soccer ball. I mean, man, is he fast.
Darren Sproles, the speed,
there you go. Yeah, there you go.
Area quickness. We are multifaceted here on the broadcast. Jack Quinn, I'm John Leidig. Thanks so much for joining us on this friendly here between Pittsburgh and Erie. As Hernandez-Lace will feed it to Geraldo. He makes a quick turn, just feeds it in.
Oh, beautiful.
There's a run. Tovar there with it.
Got the keeper
Gets
out.
the keeper out, throws it, and just finds the outside of the net. And what a passing play there. Just not enough to get around the keeper and find an open alley.
A phenomenal pass, and unfortunately his momentum was carrying him out of bounds. There was no way for him to center it in that moment. But again, the right idea. Love, again, for the second half, how Erie has really outplayed Pittsburgh in the second half of each half. They've clearly adjusted as the game has gone on in both halves of play.
So we'll see how things play out here. Time against the Commodores here, but great pressure by Geraldo before the keeper wisely decides to just edge him off and pick it up. He'll toss it out. And now it's just about keep away, but here come the Commodores again, Ebersbach. As it's Geraldo looking to play dance moves, throws one into the box on net, and boy, that one just a bit. If he could have had maybe another half a foot, that would have been in the back of the net to tie things up at 2.
Yeah, and a great job to elevate it with the chip. He couldn't, when you do that, you sacrifice a little bit of the power. I couldn't tell if he was trying to pass it in there or what. And now we're going to get a stoppage. And not sure why. So looks like it's going to be a free kick for the Commodores. Don't know if looks like it's going to be a corner. So obviously they thought it was going to be a goal kick, but they're going to say that it was deflected, and as such it'll be a corner coming up for Erie here. Believe that is Will Perry over to take it now in the 88th minute, getting critical, the lefty, as the Commodores looking for a tie here in this season opening friendly. And headed out. Now Danch, though, will have a shot to reset it for Erie. Nice ball in. Everybody was out, but it was too far, and I think that's going to be a goal kick. Yeah, late whistle, but it'll be a goal kick. And that wind has picked up again. It is at the back, or backs, of the Riverhounds. And they're not really interested in scoring here. They're just interested in keeping it in the Erie end and not allowing the Commodores any more chances. Obviously, the Commodores looking to mount one more rally, if not more. They had a flair for the dramatics last season with some late goals, some goals in extra time. I had a man on the left, was a little bit late in getting it there, but a good recovery. Now in the 89th minute. Zyla plays it over to the far side, really the middle, and right back to Zyla. Obviously, on the defensive side, Pittsburgh being very conservative. Everybody, there's no need to be overly aggressive. This is exactly what you want to be doing defensively. We'll see if Erie can get some penetration here now as we are in the 90th minute. Oh, all alone here, looking for the cross. And deflected out. You got a player for the Riverhounds down. And that one loose in front, knocked up in the air. We get a whistle. I think they're going to call offside. Still down is a player for the Riverhounds. So I believe the call there was offside. We're going to get a substitution here for the injured Riverhound player. Up, walking under his own power. This game has been fairly injury-free. A player for each side banged up, but both able to walk off under their own power. So 3 minutes, extra time here. Let's see if the Commodores can tie this thing up. And pretty much everyone who was available that we've seen has been able to play here in this friendly. And it'll be interesting to see how the lineups shift. Short turnaround as Erie gets things underway in NPSL play Saturday night right here at Saxon Stadium. Zyla with a nice ball up ahead. Ebersbach leaves it. Approaching a minute into stoppage time. But credit Pittsburgh defensively here over the last 5 minutes or so of game time. They're not letting Erie getting really much of anything going toward the net. But Geraldo with a shot now. Middle, nice pass, left foot. Oh, it was deflected away in front. Boy, when he got it, I don't know how he made that pass into the center there, but there was just too much traffic to get anything through toward the net. About halfway through the given extra time. Nice ball up in front. Contact. Are we going to get a whistle? No whistle. Commodores wanted a whistle, which would have been a PK. I think that's probably a good no call. It didn't look egregious, but that is way over on the far side of the field, so I'm not a great judge. Long ball up ahead, and it just missed. The fans down below me thought it was in. It actually hit the net behind the net that keeps it from hitting cars down there, but it looked for a second like it had gotten through. And there were fans right down below me that jumped up in the air. Oh, what a strike, and it missed by inches, tying this thing up here in extra time. Headed out. That was well done. Commodores looking to mount one more run here, trailing 2-1. In stoppage time, Pittsburgh just looking for a clear. They'll give them one more run here before they blow this thing dead, I would suspect. Commodores wanted a handball there. No whistle. Well, that puts it at 3 minutes. We'll see if they give them one more run at it or not. And that will do it. So this friendly is history. The Commodores fall to the Riverhounds 2 in their inaugural game, 2-1. So 2-1, the final score. Commodores fall once again. They will be back home Saturday night for their first official match, their first NPL match of the season when they take on Niagara 18-12 right here at Saxon Stadium on the campus of Mercyhurst University. So in terms of the goal scoring, it was Bennett Painter.
A number of players that contributed. Boy, Geraldo there in the second half was a key part of the pressure that the Commodores had down the stretch, unfortunately falling in this friendly to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2 by a 2-1 score. But an exciting thing, I think the thing to stand out here today was the fan and the faithful that came out here. As you can see maybe throughout the broadcast, a number of people coming out to this first one, a good sign, and a team that they're certainly excited about as we get ready for this season opener coming up on Saturday right here at Saxon Stadium against the Niagara 18-12. Again, if you're want a recap of this one, things opened up in the 16th minute. It was a penalty kick by the Pittsburgh Riverhounds that opened things up for a 1-0 lead, but Connolly responding just 4 minutes later to even this one up at 1-1. That's where we headed into the half before the Riverhounds picked up that early tally just about 8 minutes in to the second half of action. And certainly a good contest, a lot to build on with Coach Nastuda as he'll be joining us here in just a moment. You can see I'll step out of the shot actually for a moment as you see the players meet at midfield here, taking a couple of pictures and talking as well. A number of great things to take away from this one for the coach and his staff. Coach Nastuda, a part of the opening, his first year and his first game here as he'll prepare for the opener coming up Saturday against Niagara 18-12 as the players continue along here to make their way to the locker rooms here. It was the inaugural game for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 2 as they're coming off their parent club last year winning the USL title and the Riverhounds taking down FC Tulsa. That was a part of the continuing growth in the Pittsburgh soccer region at the USL level as we continue to await the coach to come along here. But again, a number of key contributors here to this team today. Cyrus Connolly, the lone goal scorer for Erie as he comes, part of the Cayman Islands national team, a newcomer to this team, but you saw a number of local faces as Jack Emmanuel got into the second half action. You saw late Dylan Danch, a member of the Cathedral Prep State Championship team, as he was able to get in here, as well as Charlie Peterson, a longstanding, the Petersons well known in this community for their involvement in the soccer field, as well as down at Gannon University as well, as we await Cyrus to come join us here as the man of the match, something that we'll be doing after each home game here on the broadcast. A player that had a big part in each and every matchup despite the outcome here 2-1 today. And then Coach Nastuda will come and join us here as he makes his way over a lot to be excited about with this group. As he'll make his way over here comes Cyrus as the lone goal scorer here today. And a good start for this Commodores team is Cyrus. So thanks for joining us. Appreciate you coming over. What do you make and take away from this team in the opening match here in this friendly against Pittsburgh?
I honestly think that we need to work on the chemistry. I think the more we train, the more we get to know each other. Obviously, it's just the second training, so obviously we didn't expect much, but we put up a good result. But hopefully next game we get a win. And yeah.
What do you make of the spacing? How hard is that when you bring a number of guys together that maybe haven't played together in this opening match?
Wait, can you repeat that?
Yeah. What's it like just trying to get the spacing down in terms of these guys and trying to get the chemistry that you guys want to build?
I think the more we do team bonding, the more we get to know each other, be uncomfortable with each other and stuff. I think that's the best thing to do.
They take the early lead there on the penalty kick, but what did you see from your goal there to kind of even things up? And it really seems like it shifted momentum for you guys.
I was just hungry. I'm just hungry to score goals. That's what I came here for, get goals and win.
As we wrap up here, what are you excited most about this Commodores team and maybe just getting to learn about Erie itself?
Honestly, everything. Everything.
We'll see if we can bring a little bit warmer weather come Saturday, the season opener.
I need some warm weather, honestly.
Awesome. Cyrus, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Our man of the match, Cyrus Connolly, joining us, and we'll bring in Coach. Coach, all right, you've got the first one, maybe the nerves out of the way in this friendly from Pittsburgh. What were your biggest takeaways from your group?
We saw a group that started losing, scored right away. We got scored again in the second half, but I saw that the team was resilient. We didn't care. First half, we didn't go our way, but second half, we show up. We had our chances. We didn't finish them, but I'm happy. I saw some good potential.
What did you see on Cyrus's goal there? And it seemed like really that started to shift the momentum in the first half of play for your group, really started the pressure after that.
Yeah, definitely. We got scored and we saw the reaction. The goal of Cyrus, I think, can describe the whole team, is the determination and the willingness to go after it, because it looked like a chance that had nothing going on, and Cyrus made a goal out of it.
What can you say about the push there, I think, in the final 15 minutes of your group that tried to find the equalizer, a number of great opportunities, and it seems like a lot to build on going into the season opener Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. It was good to see that, we had a good momentum, the team had the ball, we want to push forward, and that's the main idea, to have it. It was good, didn't finalize it, but we had some chances.
Coach Nastuta, thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
We look forward to the season opener coming up on Saturday against Niagara 18-12. A great broadcast here. I'll send it back for one final time up to the, come on, Coach. We'll bring you over here as we have the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Obviously, a great day for you guys as you kind of get things started. What did you like from your club here as you came up here for this friendly?
Yeah, I mean, I like the intensity from the group. I mean, this is kind of our third day as an actual group. We haven't been here together for very long. A lot of guys coming from different places, so it was good for us to just kind of get on the field, get a feel for one another. We had two groups that were able to play, so a lot of guys got good minutes, and we were just happy to get a game in kind of before we start our season this weekend.
What has it been like to see the growth in soccer in the Pittsburgh region, and obviously with the Riverhounds and the success that the parent club enjoyed a year ago?
Yeah, no, it's been great. I mean, it's been incredible to kind of see how the city of Pittsburgh has really grafted onto the club and been really excited about being a part of it. And obviously the success has kind of brought a lot more people into the stadium. And, we've got a Riveters program coming up as well this summer, our second year with that. And people are really excited to be a part of that again. And just to see it grow is fun in the city of Pittsburgh.
Finally, for me, what was it like to connect with the group up here in Erie? And what do you guys now build upon as you head in to get started for your regular season coming up in a couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, it was great to connect with them. I mean, we're obviously not too far away from Erie. It's always good to just connect with other soccer kind of programs in the area, soccer landscapes in the area, and for us, again, having a friendly kind of across even leagues, NPSL and USL2, and just getting guys ready for the season, I think was the most important part.
Coach Josh Kremers, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate you making your way up here.
Yeah, of course, thank you.
All right, thanks so much for watching this broadcast of the Erie Commodores. We look forward for you joining us once again coming up on Saturday. It is the season opener, the home opener, and we'll be glad to bring you the broadcast coming up here this Saturday between the Niagara 18-12 and the Erie Commodores. For Jack Quinn, myself, John Leidick, and all of our crew that put in a great effort here today, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here at Saxon Stadium Saturday at 6:30.